Audio. Can you hear me now?
Audio.
I got you. Can you hear me? Mine's coming through. We can text down here.
I got you. Can you hear me?
Okay, I'm going to kill that.
Mine's coming through.
No audio from Larry. We're going to make it happen. I've got... You can hear yourself through the audio. I can hear myself in the audio. Let me go to... Let's go to audio out. And that is speakers high def. Desktop audio. Mic audio. It's kind of a bummer. Can't hear you, Larry. You can say anything you want right now. Audio out is definitely connected. I see mine. Logitech sound clips. You can hear yourself. Let me go to... I don't know. User settings. I don't know, man. Input devices. I do not know. I do not know. I can hear myself in Discord when I'm doing a mic check. I don't know. I don't know. I've done all the things that I can typically do. This is kind of a bummer. Looks like we're chatting the whole night, Larry. We'll reboot it. I'm going to kick you out and I'm going to bring you back. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Wednesday night, the Hoppy Hour. Glad you're all here. This is Larry out there in Columbus, Ohio. No, that's Brian. Larry's out there in Illinois. I'm going to boot Larry and we're going to bring him back in. Join video call. Larry, check one, check one. Can't hear you, Braj. Let me go through here. Larry. What's going on, everybody? Hell Brew, Zach Pearson. What's up, man? Yeast in the Braj. Yeah, sorry about for the technical difficulties. What's going on, Andy Murquhart? Hunter Henderson. What's going on, Brajes? Let us know what you're drinking tonight. I'm actually drinking water right now. I need a beer. I thought today was Monday. Larry, what are you drinking? Larry can hear me. Oh, Lester, what's going on, man? Let's go to... I don't know, Larry. Let's go to... Because I should be able to hear you in Discord even without Streamlabs pulling you in. So... I think it's got to be on your end in case there's... I don't want to have to start the stream all over. Can you check your cogwheel, Larry? We're talking down here. Dippas, double IPAs all day. Right on, man. Honey IPA tonight. Big shout out. Who was here last week? It was a lot of fun. It was Clawhammer guys, then Apartment Steve. We had a lot to drink on Thursday night. That was the most IPAs or double IPAs I've had in a very long time. All right, Larry, let's get you, Braj. Let's get you Discord official system. What's going on, Yeast? Much love, man. Really quick, let's give a shout out. Here's Larry. What cogwheel? Bottom left. Check your input. Output. Really quick.
Hello.
Larry, what's up, man?
Are you able to hear me?
I can hear you crystal clear. Sounding really good. We had him. Drinking a session IPA I just kegged up. Right on, man. El Dorado for days. We were talking about that on Friday. We can hear... Apologies for this, guys. What's going on, Kurt? There he is on audio. We got that too. We got 40 people here in the chat tonight. We suck again. Always. Patrick D. Really quick, let me give a shout out to the super chatters from last week. But Larry, what's up, man? Did we lose you again? We had you for a second. What up, Buzz Bomb? We had you. We had you there for a second, Larry. We were able to. Is these working? Aaron Redding. Hey, cheers from Mexico again. Right on, man. Well, actually, I'm in Colombia, but I'm from Mexico City. Right on, man. Cheers from San Diego.
Wow.
We'll get Larry here dialed in here in a second. Then I'll go get a beer. But we did just hear you for a second there, Larry. Whatever you had, you had it. You unclicked it.
Back off, war child, seriously.
Yell louder. Burn down the internet. What's going on, Todd Porter? Short circuit is there anybody in there? What's going on, Brian? Good stream on Sunday. I wish I could have been there more for your genuses, but we were filming that day. What's up, Hack Attack? What's going on, man? Larry, have you tried turning it on and back off again? K-Train, drinking a cannabis beer. I thought about doing that, but then I noticed that it's very expensive, at least the way that I wanted to do it. A lot of good content on YouTube this week. I'm trying to catch up. I feel like everybody put out a video, and there was just a lot going on with Halloween weekend. Hope everyone's having a good Halloween. What up, Gnome? Is Chris Flodico? What's going on, man? Is Gentleman Brewing in here? Portly Gentleman? Oh, he's just saying gentleman. What's up, Gnome? What's going on, Brush? Reboot, and then you just reboot it for real. Let me see if Larry's writing something. All right, Larry's not paying his internet, just like last time. Let me go to join video call. Starting a little bit earlier today. Larry's 2 hours ahead of me. I'm Pacific. He's the other one, Central. I just restarted this again. I'm restarting Discord. Sounds good. Yeah, a lot of content, a lot of partying. We can see you, Larry. You had the audio for a second. There was definitely audio. Clickbait. Don't see Larry's berries. Jonathan Elliott, what's going on, Brush? What up, Andy? Larry, we're waiting on pins and needles over here to have to hear your pipes, man. The voice of an angel. Rausch beer. Yeah, that beer is definitely tough for me to drink. You had it there for a second, Larry. Yeah, big shout out to Brian for doing the brew day on Sunday. Genus Brewing Sunday as well. Hellbrews put out content. Matt Ushman put out content. David Heath put out content. The Brew Show put out content. Apologies if I'm missing anybody. I want to talk to Larry because I'm going to steal his rib video for an upcoming Homebrew for Life video. Don't drink it, MBC it. I need a beer. I'm blowing it. Really quick, big shout out to, again, all the guys from last week, Clawhammer, Ross, and Kyle, and then Shorts, and then Apartment Steve on Thursday. And I woke up looking at a 3.5 hour podcast or a stream, instantly set that one to private or deleted it. Super chatters for last weekend. Much love. Jay Russell, thank you. Larry, you're back. Larry? Still can't hear you, man. Still can't hear you. No, thank you for the super chat last week. Fermentation Adventures, much love. Devin Luck, thank you for subscribing. Zachary McCrary, thank you for the super chat barrage. We'll get some NBCs going here in a little bit. Hector Topetti, much love as always. Trev Who, I was hanging out with him today. We're shooting a video at his brewery on Friday. Splatch, 10 gallon. Southo Brewing. Zach Pearson, much love. Thanks for the super chat. G-Funked, thank you, Braj. Here's to meeting up one day and having a beer with both of you. Can't wait. Let's do it at...
Hello.
There he is. What's up, man?
Hey.
What happened? Okay? Yeah, I can hear you great. Sort of.
There's there's some slider. It's about automatically determining input sensitivity in Discord, which is a piece of shit apparently. So I
Well, I
had to
can
turn
hear
it
you.
on. Yeah, I mean that's not what I want, but hey, whatever.
We're here.
And I
Good to
and
see
I had
you.
to switch. Yeah, and I had to switch my microphone from my Blue Yeti to my webcam, so the audio might be shittier. But oh well, whatever.
Better than nothing. Shitty
Better
audio
than
is better than just me talking in your face and no audio. So this is Larry. Larry's got a big YouTube channel, and I was just telling these guys I'm going to steal your rib recipe, the one you came in second place in, but previously had won. I'm going to take that video. I got to talk to you, but I'm going to do it in my oven. Do you have any insight on that? Doing the ribs over oven over a grill?
Yeah, liquid smoke.
Liquid smoke.
Liquid smoke, man. Put that in the sauce.
Right on, man. What's going on? What's today's your anniversary, right? You're hanging out with us.
Yesterday, actually tomorrow's my anniversary, but I had a conflict, so now it's today, by default. So
I appreciate you being here, man. And it's always fun when you're on. It's always fun when everybody's on. And I need to get a beer. We got 60 people here. That's Larry. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking my last homebrew.
Cherry Saison?
No, it's my Too High PA. Yeah.
Did you make a video on it?
No, I did not. If I made a video on it, I wouldn't be on YouTube anymore.
All right, fair enough. We got some super chats coming in from Short Circuited Brian and Brandon Chamberlain, man. Much love. Brian says he's got some Larry's Berries inside. Larry's Berries are a fine purple hue. Dun-dun-shh. All right, Larry, can you hold it down while I go get a beer?
Yeah, I'll talk on it.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty much the same people here. And thank you for being here. Everybody's here, and
Yeah.
all right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go watch a
yeah.
movie on Netflix for 40 minutes, but we'll see you when I see it.
All right, yeah. So comments about liquid smoke. Yeah, I can't. I didn't make a video on this last beer because if I did, my YouTube channel would probably be dropped. So, and I don't want feds knocking on my door at 5 a.m. Raiding my house. So, so there's no video. Well, actually, there is video, but it's not going to be on my YouTube channel. It'll be on a unknown channel of my own choosing, and I will not put my name on. It will not be associated with my main channel whatsoever.
What are we talking about?
It's a Too High PA. It's a Bell's Two Hearted with a little bit of an extra kick to it. If you know what I mean.
What's your ABV or your OG?
Oh, you know what? I don't even remember, but that wasn't the main effect that I was looking for. It was more about the dry hop ingredient I added into it later.
How'd that turn out?
Oh, it turned out awesome.
Good.
It turned out really good.
Good.
I think the only downside is having the munchies at 9 p.m.
Yep. It's Larry. What is it? 8 o'clock your time over there?
It's almost 8. Yeah.
Well, right on. Appreciate you here. Appreciate all you guys here, especially the East Coasters, because I know there's kind of a time zone thing we have to compensate for. So we start a little bit earlier. If I'm having a West Coast guy on, we'll do 6 o'clock. But East Coast and Nova Scotia and Florida and all that stuff, we got to kind of figure it out, man.
By the time we get started, it's almost 8 already, or 6 o'clock as it is. So
yeah,
I mean, it's not too bad.
Yeah, after we do sound check for 45 minutes, it'll be 6 o'clock, and we'll be hanging out here, man. Well, hey, congratulations on your anniversary, and I'm glad that you're hanging out and you're sharing that stuff with us, man.
Yep, 21 years.
21 years, man.
Yeah.
What'd you guys have for dinner?
Oh, well, there's an Italian restaurant chain around here called Maggiano's. So
I thought you were going to say Olive Garden. I was like, dude, you better take your...
No, but that's where my daughter and her boyfriend went, was Olive Garden.
Right on.
So, it's all what fits in your budget, I guess.
I hear that one. Yeah. We got Chris Vodka in here right near. Larry, we are no coasters. Chris Vodka is the barrage. Scooby-Doo, what's going on, man? Has anyone tried running the wort through an emission chill while in ice? Trying to save on water in my condo. I'll let you answer all the Q&A stuff, Larry.
I got a
know
video
nothing about
on it.
brewing.
Yeah, I mean, I did a video on a recirculating work chiller about 4 or 5 years ago. I got that, where you use ice water to chill the water down. I've done it in ice water in buckets and coolers, a recirculation pump, all that
Short-circuited.
stuff. Yeah, because I have the same problem in the wintertime, not because I'm saving water, which is important, but because I don't have a drain in my house when it's 10 degrees outside. And if I were to dump the water down my driveway, I wouldn't be able to park my cars up my inclined driveway for a month. So I do it for a different reason. Yeah.
We were talking about that last time when Steve was coming on. We were talking about the because I've only done immersion wort chiller. I've never done the plate chiller, or I guess I did when we had the grain father. Then it kind of runs the counterflow chiller. But yeah, long story short, what we got out of that last Thursday was just don't spend $500 on something. Like they all work, they all chill, but just kind of go the most accessible and what's the most affordable. It's hard to mess up spaghetti. What's going on the horizon for your YouTube channel, Larry? What content you working on?
Oh, that's a good question. I
No
go
idea.
week by week now. So I have all kinds of crap in the backlog. If I look at my video editor, and I have like a dozen unfinished videos going back almost 2 years that I've given up on most of them. So I'm trying to look forward to something more exciting. And not sure what I'm doing yet. Oh, actually, no. What the hell am I talking about? I'm actually doing a live stream this Saturday. I'm doing a live stream brew day again right here in my garage. With,
all right.
With the BREWS that you probably can't see over my shoulder, but I'm brewing a bourbon aged stout, much like a Dragon's Milk. If you ever had the Dragon's Milk beer from New Holland Brewing in Michigan.
No, but I'll take your word for it.
Well, here, hold on a minute. I got a bottle here somewhere. Let's see.
Send it my way.
So I gotta see if I can show this in the camera. I don't know if that's too
no, we can see
far,
that.
too close.
It's got the Game
You
of
guys can
Thrones
see
vibe
that?
going.
Yeah, yeah. This kind of predates Game of Thrones a little bit, but that's a cool,
Hey, Oyster's going to show up to your house on Saturday. You're going to have all these people showing up, man. Just bring beer if you do.
Well,
child,
I got a couple people coming already. I got my brother Chad, who some of you like to watch.
Yeah, in the
for some
videos.
reason. And then Clay from Jaded Brewing. Speaking of immersion chillers, will be here again. He lives nearby, so he comes over a lot and hangs out. So he'll be here as well to help brew and talk about his chiller and all that stuff too. Of course,
Yeah, your brew days go pretty hard, man. Last time I watched yours, it was probably the last one. You guys were cooking food, smoking cigars, drinking whiskey, chugging beers. People just kind of coming in and out of the shot, handling chat.
It took me a day or two to get over that one. Yeah,
that was a hangout. Yeah, that was a hangover.
Yeah, hangover and a mess to clean up. I'm not doing that this time. That was exhausting trying to coordinate all that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun. It was fun, but man, it was like these brew day live streams are tiring as it is because you're always on. There's never any downtime. But you add food and grilling and 10 people who are all trying to
hosting, meeting new
hosting
people. Yeah.
That was fun, but
yeah, it's fun if nobody gets hurt or the batch doesn't get ruined. But Trouble Brewing with Matt Ushman's in here, man. Good job in your last video, Matt. I checked that out today. I've got a little backlog of videos I need to watch, but Larry, do you have any hangover advice? Is there any secret?
Yeah. Don't ever get one. Drink good liquor. Drink good beer. Drink good wine. You can overindulge all that all night long and not have a hangover.
Well, what happened on the hangover from last Saturday for the last stream?
Well, let's see. That's a good question. I think I was just exhausted more than anything else.
Just too much energy spent.
Just spent, man. I'm 49 years old now, man. Things slow down. If I was 29 or whatever, I'd go all night long and get an hour of sleep and get up and go all day, right? But not no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, right on. I'm looking forward to that. For those who just showed up, Larry's got a stream going on Saturday. Check out his channel. There's a link in the description of this video. And
Saturday.
Sunday. Kids eat free. Yardbird, hair of the dog. If anybody has any good hangover recipes or advice, let me know.
Oh, and also rehydrate a little bit. So if you're boozing all day and night, I usually put a tall glass of water or two down my throat right before I go to bed. Yeah, I got to get up and pee later. It sucks, but I don't wake up all like with a headache or nothing, so it's good.
Elementary Brewing in the house, man. What's going on, Brian, out there in Visalia, West Coast, a 555 guy right now. I know a guy. What's up?
Saw a comment from Rubio says Pedialyte works well, and it does. I have a neighbor who's he turned me on to that a number of years ago because he has a row of them right in his fridge door for these very occasions.
He's ready. He's got they're not for the kids. They're not for the toddlers. They're for the grown men.
For the adults, yeah.
That's right. See, Miss McMasters, dude, I got the hookup on an Accelerator. It's like $200. I signed up for a Prime credit card and got $150 off, and boom, $20 or $50 counterflow chiller. Good man. Good looking out, Seamus.
Very nice.
Beer, me too. Looking forward to live stream, Larry.
All right, Robert, me too, man. Hey, you're still invited to come to this thing. I invite him all the time, and he's too shy. He's camera shy, so he never wants to come.
Beer, me too?
Yeah.
All right. Ryan Carter, what's up, man? Have you heard anything about this? I used to work construction with a guy who said he drinks whatever he wants, but he only drinks one thing that night, and he'll never get hangovers. Like if you stick with red wine, he says that it's from mixing everything. That's when the bad hangovers come in, when you go from beer to whiskey to... I drink... we played a lot of pool this weekend, and I drank a lot of whiskey ginger ales. I kind of paid for it on Monday.
Oh, that's another thing. Sugar. Don't drink sugary drinks. Don't drink cocktails.
There's
don't
my
drink
soda.
Those ginger ales.
Okay.
Yeah, just stick with liquor, because if you start adding sugar, like margaritas and stuff, those will give you hangovers. Because
I was probably drinking that too.
Sugar. Yeah.
Yeah, we shot a video Sunday and then ended up hanging out with an old friend. It kind of turned into a 3-day weekend really fast. Pedialyte, caffeine, and oxygen works every time. I can't do caffeine when I'm hungover unless I'm going to go on a run, but I get scared. If I'm hungover and I drink a bunch of coffee, I become afraid of the world. Sugar causes the worst hangovers, Hunter Henderson. That's what Larry's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Stay away from
totally agree.
Margaritas and soda.
And cocktails. Stay away from them.
What about cocktails? What if you make a homemade margarita if you're just doing simple syrup and lemon juice and salt? Or is that still...
that's sugar.
All right.
Yes, simple. But if I do margaritas, I always drink I still drink the white stuff because there's no point in wasting money on the añejo or the other higher quality
reposada.
Tequilas. Yeah, right. Because that's good for drinking plain. But I buy I don't buy the Cuervo. I'll buy the Herradura brand or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Do you buy Costco stuff? Do you buy Costco alcohol and Costco beer?
Well, I did when I had a Costco membership. I let it expire. It's too far away from my house to bother going there. Yeah.
Because I saw that they brought the beer back, and I was trying to do a video on that last month, and they didn't have any beer, and they actually went from bottles to cans now. But I think it's all still the same style: session IPAs, blondes, maybe a Belgian, and maybe something malty. But I do want to do that video. I want to do Costco blonde versus 805 blonde. See what happens. Jonathan Elliott, agave syrup is good. Agave is better for margaritas anyways. I don't know anything about margaritas except that I love them.
Yeah, I put agave nectar in my margaritas too. But the last time I made them, I didn't have any of it on hand, so I made a simple syrup, which is so easy to do. It was close enough, but agave I think is better. Yeah.
How do you make your simple syrup?
Well, it's 50-50 table sugar and water, and you just heat it in the pan, you dissolve it, and then you let it cool and put it in a squeeze bottle or a pour or something that you can pour it with.
Priming sugar. It's the same as bottle conditioning. I'm kidding, sort of, just different ratio. What's going on? Joseph Crawford, what's going on, man? Hello, everybody. Hello from San Diego.
Hey, just a question.
Yeah, what do you got?
Is my voice distorted like it was last time I was on this thing?
Not at all.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I felt embarrassed. Like the last time I replayed the stream a little bit just to see what I couldn't see from being on the stream, right?
No, it's good.
And I was kind of upset with my own voice being kind of scratchy, so I just want to make sure I was okay.
You sound great. And there's always going to be a problem because I can't, you have a YouTube channel, Short Circuit has a YouTube channel. Some of these guys have YouTube channels, but some guys just have to go off their phone. They're not going to be committed to, spending $500 on production, and I can't control that, on their end unless they show up to my house. But I don't like that. I like it when they don't show up to my house, because then I can get you on your camera and two guys don't have to sit here, kind of take turns going back into the microphone. But Brian, you were over modulated, which is probably what
it means. I was maxed out on my volume. Yeah, I was being clipped is the term.
Yeah. Yeast and the Beach. Jonathan Elliott is too beautiful for this stream. Jonathan Elliott is too beautiful for this stream. Super chat from Lefty. Lefty has donated $10. Much love, Lefty. That's going to buy me a beer later on if I do go out tonight. OBS Ninja. Yeah, OBS is definitely kind of a trip. Jack Martino, man, what's going on? Cheers. Rubio. Beer, water, rinse and repeat. That's to avoid all hangovers. Jonathan Elliott, only if you eat the worm. Well, right on, Larry. So that's cool. I talked to Larry. I'm going to steal his rib recipe for a video. I think we're doing that next Sunday, man. I'm going to give you more than enough shout outs and shine in the video too, because just like I said before, if you're doing it in an oven, you're not going to get the smoke flavor. So put the smoke in the sauce, which means putting some liquid smoke. You can buy it in a bottle, right, at the grocery store, and just put some drops in there and fake it. Perfect. That's pretty much the video right there. You're going to hear exactly what Larry just said in my mouth in the video in about 10 days. So much love, man. What offset smoker do you recommend?
Offset smokers, I can't recommend any, honestly. I think they're inferior to my Kamados. I used to have offset smokers, and I got rid of them once I went to Kamados. But don't buy the cheap ones. So if you do get one, don't go cheap. Don't go to Home Depot and buy the Char-Griller one. They suck ass. Don't ever buy those cheap ones. They leak. They're drafty. They're just hard to control. Buy something quality like a Lone Star Grills. I know they're thousands of dollars, okay, but you asked, so I'm telling you, go buy something that's name brand, that's high quality, like Lone Star Grills is one. I think they're out in Oklahoma.
Write that down.
So they don't leak. They seal up real nice. So if you're going to ask me, that's the brand I would say look at first, and then work your way down from there, because they're big and they're nice, but they're not cheap.
Nice things cost money.
Yep.
Nice things cost money. Somebody in the comment section asked, what are we drinking tonight? I'm drinking Voodoo Ranger Juicy Haze IPA. This is the brewery that Ross from Clawhammer works at, and the stuff that he makes. Larry is drinking, what is that, Redemption?
Redemption Bourbon. I just bought it. This is the whiskey I'm going to soak my wood chips in for my bourbon stout this weekend. So,
got it.
Yeah.
So how does that work? How long do you have to put your chips in soaked in whiskey for?
Well, that's a good question, because this is the first time I'm actually doing this for real. I've done this with wine in the past. I've made lots of red wines and white wines with like oak chips and stuff in them. I've made IPA with oak chips in them. I've never done a bourbon soaked wood chip beer. It's my first time doing it. So I assume I'll play it by ear. So I'm using wood chips. They actually give up their flavor pretty quickly, so you don't have to age them for months if you don't want to. I mean, they'll yield all their flavor in a matter of a couple of weeks, honestly, from my experience with wine and beer. So a lot of people say let it for months, but the wood chips will be all used up by then. And then beyond that, you're just aging it for just the sake of aging for other reasons than that flavor, I think. But I'll find out. I'm first time doing it for real, so I'll keep you all updated, though. After this live stream this weekend, I'm going to play it by ear. I'm going to taste and sample as I go and determine how long I think it is. I'll probably put it in my Spike Flex, because it's got a little sample valve that I can take samples out of. And so every week I'll just a little taste and see how it's coming along. And then hopefully by Christmas, my goal is to have it ready by Christmas.
I like it. Kind of with that, what Brian was saying, do you think it's kind of hack when people are like, hey, this is aged 5 years or 12 years? Does it really matter? Or do you think it's more of a marketing thing? People wanting to see the higher the number it is on that, the more we could jack up the price.
I don't know, man. I think it just depends. I mean, for wine peaks at about
3 years for reds.
About 3 years for reds. Beyond that, it's downhill. Beers are best consumed fresh, right?
With hops,
right?
Hoppy beers, yeah.
Yeah, but these high gravity beers, I used to make Scotch ales and barley wines, and I have noticed over a period of months that the harshness of the alcohol tends to mellow and meld with the flavors. So there is kind of like some truth to some aging for some of the high gravity beers, the high alcohol ones. But generally, I think it's a lot of hype, but not always. Right? It just depends, I think.
But if you go to a really nice Jonathan Elliott marketing, $5 a year to age the beer, or get the fuck out. Other than that, yeah. But if you go to like Dean and DeLuca, or just really nice, Dean and DeLuca is the nicest the nicest market I've ever been to in my entire life, and they just have stuff there that you just don't see anywhere else. It's the nicest, I think, market in the world. There's one in Napa, and there's one in Manhattan or Jersey or something. But yeah, they have like their section of whiskeys over there, and they're anywhere from about a couple $100 to $10,000, and they're all aged 12 or 5 or 20 or 30, and it's definitely a selling point. It's definitely a branding thing. You're not going to put that on,
with the whiskeys, it's
Evan
an
Williams.
Yeah, I mean, with the whiskeys, that's the exception. Those do age better, but there's a limit, right? I mean, the longer the whiskey sits in the barrel,
I'm saying,
the more it evaporates, and the less they have to sell later, which means they have to charge more for it. Now, does that mean it's better flavored at 12 years versus 8 years or 10 years? Maybe, maybe not, but you're paying a lot more for it because they have a lot less liquor to sell at that point.
Sure.
Yeah.
12 months, in my opinion, stout. 12 months Imperial Stout.
Yeah, Brian's saying that he's got a 12-month Imperial Stout just waiting there for him, I guess. Huh? He's got to let us know how that turns out.
Let me know. I will never be the guy that ages stuff. That's what kettling sour is all about. That's what Kvike yeast is all about. But I remember those days when everybody was doing their sours and barrels, and it just took so long, and you'd look in there and it looked like disgusting spiderwebby looking wort or beer, and I don't think those days happen anymore. Do people still barrel age sours? Is it all just kettle sour?
That's a good question. I don't know. I've never done a barrel anything. So
if you're just trying to bring the pH down, I mean, there's ways to do it now. We don't have to wait a year.
Right, for the bacteria to do it.
Yeah.
You do it with like stuff you throw in the pot, chemicals and crap.
Yeah, hit it with enough lactic acid. Darren Blackwood, what's going on, man? I know, just mix it in with. I thought about doing that because we did a dill pickle beer, and it wasn't. I think we got it down to like 3.5, and I still want it more dill pickly, so I just hit it with some white vinegar. Is like, I don't know what I put in there, maybe a pint to the corny keg, but I loved it because I'm a big mustard vinegar junkie. Sometimes I just eat bread with oil and vinegar for dinner. But
oh yeah, totally. Me too, man. I love that tart sour. Yeah,
toasted bread, oil and vinegar.
Oh yeah.
Dill pickle.
I just had some at the restaurant.
Me too. Yeah,
Yep.
I didn't go to a restaurant. I made my own. It's such a good easy fix, and that's what they give you for free at nice restaurants. People don't realize that, hey, you can just toast a couple of shitty pieces of bread and hit this with a little oil and vinegar, and you just made dinner for about $1.
Yeah, exactly. And it's quite filling. It's bread. It fills you up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kettle sours suck compared to a white ale or age. I'd want to do that side to side, but I would, in my homebrew for life way, I would say that I would not be able to tell, or not think I would be able to tell. But that's a good question.
I don't have a preference. I would suspect the traditional styles have qualities that are great
If they're done right, yeah.
If they're done right, yeah. I mean, there's a place up in Wisconsin. I think I mentioned this last time. I don't remember. It's a brewery called New Glarus. They make a lot of lambic style fruit sour beers. They do it the old-fashioned way, and it's great.
And they're expensive. Those beers were like $25.
They can be on certain editions and certain. Yeah, absolutely, they can.
Coming from France and Italy and Europe and stuff like that. Speaking of which, what's the most money you've ever spent on a beer, like a bomber or a 6-pack?
Well, I had a buddy that spent $225 on a bottle of Sam Adams Utopia a couple times, but personally, I've never spent that much for a single bottle of beer. I probably never spent more than $20 for a bomber.
That's
maybe.
probably where I'm at. I mean, it was probably a sour, a barrel aged sour, but I never heard of that $200 Utopia beer you just mentioned.
Yeah, Sam Adams. Every other year they come out with their Utopias, which is it's a fancy looking skinny bottle with a wide bottom base, and it's a rare edition. They're hard to find, so even they retail for $200, they'll sell for a lot more.
Whoa, 700
Oh, yeah.
bucks at Del
Oh yeah,
Mesa.
I mean, yeah.
Let me put this in the chat.
But it's awesome though. I mean, it's delicious. So good.
What is it?
But
Just their dark lager?
well, it's like a maple stout, very heavy, syrupy, malty, complex ale that they rotate barrels from 10 years ago with barrels from 3 years ago, and they kind of mix and blend and they age it, and it's it's all on their website. For like, if you go to Sam Adams and look for the Utopias, they explain it there. It's actually pretty involved and time consuming, which is why they cost a lot. But, yeah.
Duly noted. Yeah, this guy's trying to sell it for 700 bucks.
$700. See, there you go.
Del Mesa liquor and 700 bucks at Bottle Bros.
Jeez. I'm going to pick that link now. I just saw it come up.
Let me click on it. Utopia's beers, Samuel Adams. Are we over 21? Yes.
Yeah, that's
Is there
it.
a real reason for anybody to put that stupid disclaimer on here? Is there underage people that are clicking no and then it sends them to Disneyland? Disneyland.com. All right. We make Utopias to challenge the perception of what beer can be. This boundary bending barrel-aged beer blurs the line between beer and fine spirit. 28% ABV.
Yep. That's pretty high up there.
It's the badass of our brewery. Its reputation puts it on every beer drinker's bucket list. Well, they just created a market I've never even heard of because I've never heard of beer that high.
It's worth a try if you're into things like a heavy malty maple bourbon stout kind of flavor and you like it rich and thick. That's something to try, but it's rich in price too. So you just find someone else who bought a bottle and like beg for a sip.
I like it. It's like having a buddy who with a good friend who has a boat. You don't want to have the boat or the RV, but if you got a friend with it, it's pretty much free. Malt varieties, right. Pale Munich, Caramel 60, hop varieties, Holler Tower, Middle Früh, Spalt, Tetnag, Tetninger.
Yep.
Availability, rare released every other year, 25.4. Try specialty beer, wine, or liquor stores. It's tough to find. Good luck. They have that on their website. Availability, it's tough to find. Good luck. Superpowers, super strength, and it's better with age. Well, all right. Okay. This is like the Screaming Eagle of beer.
It looks like they added cherries to this year's too. For the 2021 year, they added cherries in there.
Larry's cherries.
Larry's cherries berries.
Larry's cherries berries.
I guess for those who don't know what that means, I made a video a year ago called, well, I don't know what it's called now, but I had a beer in there called Larry's Berries. It was like a fruit sour or something. Yeah, anyway, that's what that was about.
There's a video on it. I've seen it. I was recently looking at your channel, Larry. You made a brown ale with not your brother, but somebody else. That was... Oh.
Yeah, I made a couple browns.
Comparing it to previous browns. That was a good video.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I forgot how long ago that was. I haven't made a brown in at least a couple of years. It must be pretty old now.
Yeah, when I watch YouTube on when I watch YouTube on my Netflix or when I watch YouTube on YouTube on my television computer, I don't know how it works because it doesn't have the date. It might have the views on it, but it doesn't let you know. It's kind of like your homepage, and then it just kind of shows you what other people watch too, I guess. It's a little bit different than I think the algorithm that shows up on my computer. Sometimes there's different things.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me get a coaster really fast. Hold it down, Larry.
I'm just laughing because I see East and the Beast making potty humor comments apparently on the screen. I make browns every morning, he says. Well, congratulations. It's better than greens, I guess. Whatever. I actually love brown ales. I mean, that used to be my favorite fall beer style. I used to like to brew that in like August and have it ready for like late September and going into October. And then last year I made a Munich Dunkel for the first time, and that became my instant new fall like brown favorite.
Never made a Dunkel.
Yeah, it was interesting. I've never made a Dunkel before either until
Never
last
made a
year.
Dunkel.
I was really impressed. It was like, what I did. They say, dare say, better than the brown ales I've made, because it's a lager, so the flavor's a lot cleaner. It just looks like a ale because it's so dark in color. But
A lot of those beers are like that.
yeah,
Like I just did a smoked beer for the last video. Oh, sorry, no Homebrew for Life video this week, but the week before that we made like a Rauch beer, smoked beer. And
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
I don't recommend it unless you really like it, because I'm just kind of sitting on a lot of smoked beer, and I actually gave it to one of my buddies on Sunday and he started throwing up.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't like IPAs or anything, no, and he's kind of a weird drinker to begin with.
Yeah,
it was kind of whack. But I was buying other smoked beers, and I forget what they're called, Sri Lanka, but I was looking at them, and one of them, it calls itself a Marzen, and it is like as black as a stout. And I'm like, that wouldn't be a Marzen on the West Coast. Like maybe at one time in Germany that was a Marzen, but from my experience, Marzens are way more of a paler amber color. Just Brewing.
They've changed the terminology and the definition of an Oktoberfest versus a.
It's just such a general
Marzen.
term.
Yeah, well, the Marzen are what we call Oktoberfest now, which is what Brian said he just brewed last weekend, right?
Yeah.
And then they came up with, and then over the years, I guess they started making what they call fest beers, which are a little lighter in color. They're not dark; they're more like amber-ish or brownish. I mean, kind of like transparent. I mean, they're like lighter, but not really light in color. And
yeah,
that's like the new fest beer that they serve out there. So in Germany, I guess, from what I hear and see. But
there was a good article on that written in Craft Beer Magazine, literally just talking about Oktoberfest versus fest beers, for just like where Helles and all these other styles kind of fall in between that. I don't really know, and it's all kind of cross platform. It seems like you could kind of call these and that, and in 5 years they're going to be back to that, or it's going to be the same or different in a couple of years from now. The Oktoberfest style is Mars and Just Brewing in the house. What's going on, man? Larry's on point here. Zach Pearson always is.
Thank you very much.
Austin, no Homebrew for Life video this week? No, I'm sorry. We went back to shooting a cooking video, and we tried to create a format for it, and it's just going to take some time, I think, to get it kind of how I want to get it. It's going to be pretty obnoxious, but there's a cooking video in there, about 7 to 8 minutes are going to be the cooking videos. THERON has tipped $5 VBC. Much love, THERON, man. Somebody on Instagram was asking me about Trevor's Brewery. We have a buddy who kind of helps out with the channel who's opening up a brewery in Southo, and the other guy on the channel, Maury, is the head brewer for him now. And they were good. I was there today. They get a lot of people to come by, man. They get a lot of people that want to sell them stuff. They get a lot of people that want to open up food trucks, or they have restaurants and they want to be there at opening day and stuff like that.
That's cool.
It's cool, but it's kind of my nightmare. You just got people kind of walking. They're not open yet, but people are banging on the door like, hey, do you need this? I could do that. I could cut stone. Do you need what kind of like
begging for work there? I mean, is that what you're saying? Like,
yeah. I mean, they have probably the best location I've ever seen, because it's in Oceanside, which is like a very popular beach town, tourist town of San Diego of North County. But more importantly, they're at a 4-way intersection. So it's impossible not to see what's going on if you're at a red light. People are outside going to be drinking and stuff like that. Very good location. A lot of people are on the 101. You have great location, but you still kind of like drive by pretty fast. But if you're at a stoplight or stop sign, let alone a 4-way intersection with lights, you're going to get a lot more foot traffic. Yeah.
So which town is that? Is that in your area?
Yeah, so I'm Carlsbad Village, which is pretty much I guess it would be a nicer version of Oceanside. Oceanside kind of had some grit back in the day. There was just a lot of gangs. There was a lot of like, it used to be kind of like Long Beach, or kind of like they used to compare it to like Venice Beach, or a lot of in regards to LA movies and pop culture and stuff like that. But it's cleaned up now, and it's kind of more of like a North Park. And North Park is downtown San Diego's kind of like more metro district, a lot more probably younger, just radical people, girls shaving their heads. Everyone's kind of an individual down there, not traditional, more or less. Oceanside's kind of becoming that. And then I live in Carlsbad over here, which is kind of probably more families, probably more homes, but there's still just hotels and bars and everything. It's a tourist town. We pretty much live in tourist towns, and Oceanside's just got a lot of history and cool stuff. And Camp Pendleton's right there, which is a huge military base, Marine Corps.
Marine Corps base. Yeah, I know exactly where it's at.
Pendleton's a big one. So you're pretty much, Oceanside is like, California is only cool when you're on the coast. Like as soon as you go inland a couple hours, it's not cool at all. It's just desert. And when you're on the coast, your Oceanside's so it goes Carlsbad, Oceanside, Camp Pendleton, and then you're up there in like Orange County and Aliso Niguel. So there's a big chunk of land that the military has right there. They kind of sell it. That kind of separates us from. I don't even know what county that is. Maybe it's LA County or Orange. Probably Orange County. probably that one.
Yeah, but, I definitely know where that's at. I've driven up and down that expressway that like runs right by there down the coast or the highway there.
Yeah, it's a good drive. There's never any traffic right there. I love it, and Oceanside's getting cool. And with that, there's a lot more restaurants coming in. And there's a lot more coffee shops, and now there's breweries, and it's a cool place to just walk around and spend money. It's going to get kind of tough to actually be a business owner, just because there's just so many good restaurants and cool everything now. Any type of food, sushi, you want it, you name it. But back in the 90s, there was like none of that. It was just diners. And back in the 90s, Oceanside was just pretty much car dealerships on every corner, because all the Marine kids come out of boot camp and they just blow all their money right there on a car.
They're meager paychecks, but it's like 3 months worth of pay all paid on at one time. You're like, hey.
Yeah. And I remember everything in the 90s, everybody on their window, on their signs or whatever posters they were putting up, that was like, E1 means you're approved. E1 already means you're approved, which is you can't go lower than an E1. That's a private. And they'll sell you a car. Riviera, PCH rocks. PCH does rock. And there's actually a brewery, or there's a restaurant called Pacific Coast Grill, and it's awesome. Kelly was stationed at Point Lomas. Point Loma is Navy?
Point Loma is Navy. It's right there by the peninsula there, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty much Ballast Point.
I was there.
Yeah,
I was in Point Loma not last year because of the COVID. The year before, we went out there and checked out the cemeteries out there and stuff.
It's awesome.
And, it's amazing. It's kind of humbling to see all those tombstones all lined up along each side of that road, man. It's
for World War II.
A bunch of wars, but mostly World War II. It looked like, and there's some Korea, it's terrible.
Yeah. Navy. Yeah, that's how our family ultimately ended up here. Was my dad was a military brat, so it was Florida, Key West, Monterey, Hawaii, and San Diego. Pretty badass places to live as a kid if you are going to get bumped around. Because I got friends in the service that are like Alaska.
Monterey.
Yeah. Or
Monterey was my first place. The first place I went for boot camp was Monterey. I was so excited. I was in high school, and I said, man, sign me up for the military. Oh, they're going to send me to Fort Ord, which was in Monterey.
Stanford, yeah.
I got there. My first day there, they go, oh, no, we're shutting down this post. Didn't you hear about all the base closures in the late 80s? It's like, well, but they sent me here for boot camp. So, oh, no, there's no more boot camp here. We're sending you to, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. So I went from that nice coastal environment from like 1 week, and the next week I'm like in the high, hot desert.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terrible. I would have loved to stay there for the whole whole thing.
I forgot we talked about that. You were thanks for your service, Larry. You brought that up last time, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Just made me think about it when you guys were pointing out Point Loma and Pendleton and
Monterey.
So there you go.
Brian's wife was stationed here in the Navy in Point Loma. So yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of, and then, what was MCRD where they filmed Top Gun? Was that Air Force?
That was a naval base, wasn't it?
Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll figure that out later. Off the 56 over there, where all the breweries are, off Miramar. That's where everybody flies.
Miramar. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Miramar.
Right.
Yeah. So San Diego's got a huge military background, and that's why a lot of my my friends who I grew up with, how we ended up here from our parents or grandparents. Miramar.
Yeah.
So you got a question from Hack Attack. Larry, what got you into brewing?
Pardon me. Let's see. Well, man. Well, nowadays, okay. So think about today. Right? You go into a liquor store, especially those big super ones that have everything that you can think of, and there's beers, IPAs, and old ales, and light beers, and all this stuff that you can choose from. There's no need to become a brewer now unless you really want to know the process and everything. Well, back in the late '90s, mid '90s, the whole craft brew scene was still largely Miller, Coors, and Budweiser. So, I mean, there was Sam Adams, that was an up and coming brewery. There's a few other ones, the local ones that were starting up in Chicago, a couple in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And it was not a whole lot of variety. And I figured, well, I like these new kind of beer styles. It's much better than the Coors Light and the Miller Lights that I've been drinking for so many years. So I figured, well, I started learning about the process and wondering how I could do it. And then by the late 90s, around 2000, when I bought my house that I live in today, I finally had the space and bandwidth and capacity to finally start trying it. So that's how I got started. And ever since then, it's been like just a hobby, just trying to learn how to make new styles and try new things. And I don't make a lot of the same beers twice. I did for a while because I was new at it and I wanted to get comfortable making repeatable beers. So I chose a few beer styles like a wit beer. I chose like a blonde ale. I chose pale ale and IPA, just the basic beers. And I kind of went with that for years, trying to hone and learn the process. And then now, look at me now. Every time I brew a beer, it's like a new beer style. Trying something new all the time. So
that's
I do it for fun.
Yeah, it's the power of homebrewing is just being able to experiment and not have to commit to shit you don't want to do.
Yeah. I mean, how many times have you had a beer that you went to the store and paid $14 for a 6-pack for example, and you come home
$18,
right? And you drink it, and you're like, yeah, if only it had less or more or fill in the blank, and you're like, well, hey, maybe I'll go do that, and then now you can have the power in your hands now to go make the beer that you like to drink based upon some other style that you've tried in the past, right?
Yeah, I think that there's so much competition in San Diego. It kind of goes both ways. I think that there's obviously the good breweries are going to filter out the shitty breweries, but with that, you're also putting out beer so fast that it hasn't really withstood the test of time. So I've had good beers. I had a Weekend Vibes from Coronado Brewing last week, and it was a very good West Coast IPA, but it could go the exact same other way. It could go like this. They just put this beer out too fast, and there's a reason that my friends' breweries discontinue beers. You've got 10 beers on your list. They've got the apps to let you know what sells and what didn't sell. It's kind of like anything. You got to nip out the bottom 20 or 30% and then kind of just make variations of the stuff that is selling or whatever. I mean, whatever your strategy is. But yeah, exactly. And like you said, it's pretty rare to get a 6-pack for $14 unless you want to do like Lagunitas or Sierra Nevada. Beer is still expensive, and
taxes, of course, on top of it.
Taxes on top of it. I think a safe way for me to buy beer now is a lot of companies don't have 4-packs, and I don't really do growlers anymore. So if I'm enjoying beers at a brewery, I'll get a crowler to go because that's a safe bet. It's probably the same batch as what I'm drinking right there at the bar. It's like $12. It's 32 ounces. You don't need to. You can drink it by yourself. And I just think it's a really good. I think it's a really good format or a platform of having a safe thing. I don't know what the growlers are from state to state, but I remember back in the day, you'd have to bring in your glass. It was $20 to fill. You'd have to clean it yourself. I just didn't like the format of it. You have to commit to 4. You have to commit to a half gallon of beer. Maybe I don't want to drink $25 of raspberry stout right now, but with a crowler, I think they're all 32 ounces. So I think it's just a really good format, and I think every brewery should have one at their bar.
Yeah, I mean, I do. Those crawlers, though, are kind of hit and miss. Like, for example, I was at a local bar here, and we tried some of their beer on tap, and it was good beer.
Uh-oh.
And they were like, hey, well, why don't you give me that, a couple of crawlers to go? And then I asked the waitress, well, how long do these crawlers last? Oh, you got to drink them within the next day. I was like, well, yeah, that's like a growler.
No.
I said, growler?
Yeah.
Well, I agree that you shouldn't, but then I looked over the bar and watched them pour it, and all they did was just pour it basically into the open can and then can it. They didn't do
They didn't purge anything? There was
nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. So,
all right.
So I was kind of disappointed. I'm like, I spent all this money for these crawlers that I had to drink in 2 days.
Yeah.
And sure enough, by the next day and the third day, they tasted oxidized. It was
tasted flat. Well,
yeah.
What's the moral of the story? Don't buy beer if they don't have a CO2 purge right there?
Yep.
Fair enough.
Yeah, look over the counter and see if they got one neirby, and then you can safely order them, I think.
Duly noted. Sure.
Yeah. A
lot of people didn't purge the cans. Jonathan Elliott. Yeah, that'd be a big no-no. And I've always seen them purge the cans. I think, and I'm going to start looking around my friends' breweries and start calling them out and talking all this shit. I don't buy too many growler fills. Mainly I just drink at the breweries. That's cool, but you can't get wasted there, especially
yeah.
I don't know. If I have 2 or 3, then I want to get some beers to go, unless I do have a designated driver. Rob Barnes has donated $12. Crowler on me. Duly noted, Rob Barnes, man. Thanks, Braj. I need to get another beer. Larry, are you hanging out? Are you doing good on time, Larry?
Yeah, how long has it been? A half hour more? Yeah, I could probably got another half hour in me because I got to actually get ready for this live stream coming up, and I got all this equipment around me right now that I need to start playing with. But yeah, a half hour probably fine. Yeah.
All right, that means 4 more hours. But I'm gonna go get a beer and Minnesota Fats.
Last time
we were on a good one last time. Okay, can I go get a beer, Larry?
Yes. Go.
All right, right back
now. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, so let's see. Let's look at some of these things you guys got up here. A lot of comments. Let me scroll back a little ways because I think we may have missed some of the stuff we talked about before. I want to smoke a blunt with Larry. I'm coming home. Oh boy, look at you guys. Oh man. Wow, you guys are talking about Fort Sill again and Pendleton, and I could go all the way back up here to find some of these comments. Jeez. All right, let me go back down to the bottom here. Where am I out of? I'm into the Chicagoland area. So probably out in the suburbs, in the northwest suburbs here. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm kind of stuck here, unfortunately, for a couple more years. Hoping to get out of here. Hoping to move. Well, my ideal preference would be the mountains. Higher, drier climates, cooler climates, honestly, but most likely, although it's got mountains, Eastern Tennessee probably is where my ideal destination would be. But those Smokies aren't as high as the Rockies, which I just absolutely loved. So not sure where I'm going to go just yet, but not here. But I'm here for a little while yet still. What's my favorite meat cut to smoke? Well, quite frankly, brisket. I don't do it often because it's expensive and time consuming, like 20 plus hours on an overnight cook, for example. Lots of money. You can buy a 20-pound brisket at the price they're charging now for it, but the results are worth it. I portion it up into vacuum sealed bags and throw them in the freezer to prolong them so I can eat them for a couple months at a time. Best meat, I think, for smoking is brisket, hands down. A little challenge to do because it's not as forgiving as, say, a pork shoulder is, but outstanding. My second favorite would probably be spare ribs. Baby backs are not really my thing. They're too bony. There's very little meat on them. They're mostly fat, and they cost twice as much per pound as the spare ribs. And considering that spare ribs are like twice the meat at half the price, you're getting like 4 times the value, in my opinion. This is my engineering mindset talking here. But spare ribs, they hold smoke better too. They're meatier, they're juicier. As long as you have the extra couple hours that it takes to cook them above and beyond what a slab of baby backs would be, it's good. What else we got here? Zach, you're from the Chicagoland area. Yeah, I think I heard you say that earlier. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Are you still in Chicagoland? I think you moved away, you said before, or something. I think I saw somewhere scroll by. So the AHA membership, honestly, I don't think I'm even I just joined the American Homebrewing Association last year or the year before last because I was going to go to the convention or the conference, which got canceled. So I get their digital magazine, I get their emails. What they provide today, maybe it's not as much as it was years ago, I guess, because back in the 80s, I think when they started, or was it the 80s or 90s, there wasn't a whole lot of information about brewing out there. I mean, if you wanted to learn how to brew, you needed to know someone who knew how to do it or was a member of this club to help teach you and stuff. Fast forward to today with online forums like Homebrew Talk and others, Facebook groups, YouTube channels like this and stuff. It's much easier to like get into the hobby. So is it worth the membership? I'm still trying to figure that out myself, honestly. Let's see. Yeah, you do get some access to some recipes and articles, but just like you said, the Brew Show, the internet is a powerful thing. Just like I was saying, you can get all this stuff for free now. I mean, I have a whole library of homebrewing books from years ago, but before the internet really became a source for homebrewing information. So I haven't looked at those books in years. Not that I need to, but if I need to look up something, it's faster just to go online than try to flip through all your books and look for which chapter and earmarked page that you had flipped and stuff. And a lot of information in those books is old anyway. It's out of date. Things have changed. Experiments and processes and equipment have all changed over the years. So. Yeah.
What was the best book? Didn't Steve just do a video on that? Top best books in homebrewing?
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I'm not going to read any of these, man. But good topic.
So the question here is, do I belong to a homebrew club?
I do
not. I do not belong to any club. There is one there's probably a couple in Chicagoland. But again, going back to when it comes to learning to brew, back in the 90s and 2000s, that may have been the place to go to do a crash course on brewing. Now people have been watching channels like mine and here and others, and they can pick it up as they go. And you join them for the camaraderie or to get group discounts to like mass purchases of grain and things.
Or open up a brewery.
Yeah. There's advantages to it, but I've never saw an advantage for myself to join one personally. So,
yeah, I know.
Am I?
What's up?
I got a question to ask you. Gee, damn, how old am I?
There's 24.
I'm 24. See the gray?
Yeah. I got them coming in, man. I got the Gandalf sticks coming in. I try to rip them out. I try to fight it. I'll rip them out as I brush my teeth or something. Slick my hair back, and I was like, you know what? It's just part of life, man. Like, if there was one, I could rip it out, but I got 20 of them. Like, I'm not.
I'm getting some of my hair too now, but I mean, I think look young for my age. I mean, my dad's in his late 70s, and he gets mixed up with me all the time when we go places. If somebody's not paying attention and they see him and me together, or they think he's me or whatever, or vice versa, it's just weird. It's I think it's in the genes. Although my hair is showing the color, so it gives it away, obviously.
Like a fine bottle of $500 12-year whiskey from Dean and DeLuca.
Yeah. But you know what's funny though is I've noticed with the ever increasing gray I show, the more people seem to respect my opinion. It's like, oh, the elders speaking
The
to me.
wise.
You must know something.
The wisdom.
But I was saying the same thing 15, 20 years ago in a lot of cases. It's like you didn't listen to me then, but now you think I'm all wise and wisdom and stuff.
You got to play with that white hair too, like the guy from Kill Bill, who's always just parting it over here. You can't take wrong advice from a guy like that. Looks like we're all got gray hair. Todd Porter, gray hair, double IPA. I finally caught one live. Hi from Ireland. What's going on, Brenzema? Cheers from San Diego. Larry's out there, and what's your city again, Larry? Chicago suburbs.
Sao Paulo, Brazil.
I knew it. He's down there in Brazil. Hi, Kai. I inherited a bunch of older homebrewing books. Did I read all of them? No. Will I ever read all of them? No way. I only have them sitting on a bookshelf behind me to make a statement and work video calls. Trophy aspect. Good man.
That's
smart
funny.
man.
That's funny. Yeah, it's like those people on like the talking heads on TV who got the whole library behind them.
Yep. We got to do yeah.
Probably never read of them.
You seen the movie What About Bob?
Yes. What About Bob? Awesome movie.
Great movie.
I actually own that movie. I actually have a copy of it. I liked it so much.
I could watch it any day, every day. But that scene where he's getting he's going to get some shine from, I don't know, Good Morning America or 21 or 60 Minutes. They're going to come in and film it at his house.
Right.
And all morning he's trying to figure out, like, do I put like the globe here, like the statue here, like this here, like which makes me look the smartest? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So true.
I mean, let me look at my background. I have a heater and a light fixture for my backdrops. I mean, I don't really much care. I mean, it does look nice to have a backdrop, but I don't really much have a backdrop. I mean, like, I don't have a studio per se, really.
I've got my board of videos I'm supposed to make that I probably won't, and then a Mega Man 2 poster. But I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll get a little bit more douchebaggy. We'll see.
Mega Man 2? Is that what you just said? Mega Man 2?
Mega Man art back there. You remember Mega Man?
Yeah, I used to play that back in the 80s.
Hell yeah, you did. Mega Man 1, 2, and 3 probably because I was like 4 and 5 when those games came out. And the older
yeah. I played the first two at least, maybe the third one. Yeah.
Late 80s, yeah. And there was like when I grew up, how video games were, we were always neighborhood kids, and there was always older brothers and siblings, and everybody was, politics were based off age. Like the older you were, the cooler you were. So I was one of the younger guys. But do you remember the days we would all just sit in a room and you would just play video? Like all of the neighborhood kids would be in one room playing Mega Man or Mega Man 2, and then Street Fighter 2 came out, and that was a lot of my childhood. Street Fighter all the way. Killer Instinct came later, but it was fun, man.
Yeah, now the kids all they all sit alone in their basements playing online games with people they've never met. It's a whole different thing now.
And on $1,000 PCs, man, I was lucky as hell just to get a system for Christmas. It never happened for the birthdays. Birthdays, you got taken out to dinner, but Christmas, we'd get like one big gift. That was awesome.
I just got a question here.
There's a lot of questions.
Yeah, geez.
RBI baseball.
Tom Manning asked me if I've been to more brewing yet in Huntley. Huntley's it's not really a suburb; it's just outside the suburbs, but it's about a half hour from my house. I have not been there. No, Tom, I have not. Anyway, just
pretty cool. Yeah, hell yeah. What else we got? Street Fighter all the way. I still play Street Fighter. I love Street Fighter. Minnesota Fats, Ryu. I was always Blanca. THERON.
Blanca. Yeah, I love Blanca. Yeah. That was the green guy, right?
He was the green guy with red hair.
I love that because he's spinning. I love that.
Do electricity and all that stuff. Apartment Brewer.
Was it Blanca or the fat sumo guy?
E Honda.
Yeah. Honda. Yeah. I liked him a lot.
They were awesome. Really quick, I'm going to give a shout out to the Apartment Brewer. He was here last Thursday. We had a blast.
Cool. Yeah.
He sent me beers too. He sent me a bunch of Pilsners. They were all really good. They were good, and he shipped them. He bottled them, and everything got here all in one piece, and everything was labeled from hops, malt, IBUs, all that stuff, and it was awesome. So, Steve, thanks again, man. Much love, Braj.
Cool. Yeah, cool.
Hadouken. Battle Mage has a Hadouken IPA or Hopdouken IPA. I don't think they can call it Hadouken, but yeah, they're all video game themed out.
Yeah.
Contra. Fuck yeah, Contra was the shit.
I mean, on my computer right here in front of me, I have one of those MAME emulators, so I can play all those '80s games and Sega games and Nintendo games, all on my keyboard. But it's not the same because you're using like arrow keys and like
the controllers aren't as responsive and they're kind of third party janky. And I hear what you're saying. Yeah,
it's not the same.
It's not the same. It's not the real thing. Shark Homebrew, what's up, man? Jorge Castro. I played Punch Out on the NES Classic. I don't have an NES Classic. I have an SNES Classic, and those things are awesome. And they do still come with the same controllers. So it's the same style. Just because the console is mini doesn't mean the controllers are. Up, up, down, down. That's right. Do you still play video games, Larry? Aside from like, do you have like a new console, PlayStation 5 or Xbox?
No, I mean, my son, he's 15. He's looking to get a PS5 to upgrade from his PS4, but we can't find him anywhere. But
damn,
I used to play games, but then my kids came. I got a little older. Kids got a little older. Now my son hogs the game system, and I'm stuck doing YouTube videos and hanging out in podcasts. So.
Hanging out with CH. I love it.
Yeah, no, I would. I mean, I've gone through genres, right, of different games. I used to be like the action shooters and the Dooms and things like that. And then for a while, I was into like quest games, like Dungeons and Dragons and
Ultima.
Ultima was by far my favorite.
Ultima was a gnarly game. Most kids don't have the attention span to sit through that nowadays because it pretty much was Dungeons and Dragons turned into a video game. Just so much.
I played all 10 of them. Yeah.
Ultimas?
Crazy. Yeah, I played all of them. Yeah.
My dad got me that Ultima 3 Quest for the Avatar or something, and I was playing it as a 4 or 5-year-old kid, and my dad's like, and I still had the game. He was like, you know what, you might have to be older one day for this game to make sense with you. And then I tried to play it again in high school. I was like, I still can't even play this fucking game. Like, this is like way over my head. I don't know. They had to dummy it down and give me the whole A Link to the Past or Final Fantasy 3 that made a little bit more sense because Ultima was all about. Everywhere you went, there was so much dialogue and talking to and pick you wizard, warrior, this, that, but it just went into it like 20 times the amount of a normal video game would, and it really was like a Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I did all that stuff. Would I play now if I had time? I don't know. I mean, I was into some of the Call of Duty and Far Cry games, those kind of things.
Love Far Cry.
Right before I quit playing games.
Yeah.
Pretty much so.
Yeah, there's a new Far Cry that just came out, by the way. And there's a new Metroid that came out on the Switch. It's called Dread, and I've beaten it 3 times. I beat it on hard, and I can't stop playing it. I need to stop playing it because I need to start editing and stuff.
So Ultima 4, the comment here of Ultima 4 is the best. I do agree. Out of all of them, Ultima 4 was my favorite. Ultima, I think it was either Ultima 7 or 8 was probably my second favorite. The worst one was the last one, the 3D one, where that was like what we would call today like a first-person quest game, but back then it was groundbreaking because they've never ever done a game like that before that had a fully immersive world that you can roam around. Yeah, and it was so buggy. It was so buggy, and it taxed your high-end machine anyway, and you could get in the spots where you couldn't even solve the quest. Like you could get to a point in the game where it was impossible to win, and you had to restore back to an old save point if you had one. And so that was my worst experience, but 4, the best.
Did you you were part of the generation, obviously, where kids would take their controllers outside and smash them against their wall because they would be so pissed off because you didn't have the game genie codes or, just... Games used to be so hard back in the day. You'd get to the last level head boss and have no continues IPA, and you get to the point where you'd be crying in front of your mom because you couldn't beat this part, and you just
it was frustrating because you couldn't just stop and save where you were at like you can in most games.
You had to leave them on overnight.
You had to hit milestones. I mean, I would be up from like right after school at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I would be up all evening, all night.
Yeah.
to school the next day, trying to get to a point where I could save the fucking game.
Yeah.
The Legend of Zelda was like that, I think, if I'm correct. I can't remember. Anyway.
Yeah.
But now it's different. Now the kids, like my son,
Everything's saved. Everything's saved.
Yeah, well, but he's playing online games in these matches. They all play in these arenas.
Yeah,
so
matchmaking.
You can't just tell him pause the game and come upstairs and have dinner, because he can't. He's right in the middle of the game.
Right.
He's the one who loses whatever. You know,
You're
it's
right.
like, yeah. So
it
goes both ways.
It goes both ways. And I was playing Mario Kart a couple hours ago, and I tried to push pause while I was playing online. I was like, oh yeah, when you're online, there's no such thing as pause. Pause is everything back in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
Ocarina and Majora's Mask were classics. Ocarina is good. I am going to play Breath of the Wind. What are you cracking, Larry? So you're not going anywhere. We're going to do another beer or what?
I want to do one more beer. This is my Bell's, this is Bell's Two Hearted.
Bell's Two Hearted?
Yeah, so this is the beer that I modeled the beer I already drank off of. I did a video about 2 years ago where Bell's did a recipe for this beer, and I brewed it in a video on, I think, the Grainfather, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty darn good close match of a beer style. But this was probably the first beer that, like the question earlier was like, what got me into brewing? It was this beer here by Bell's, because this came out in like the mid 90s, right around the time I was looking to try something like this.
Right on, man. That's cool. Yeah. That's a cool story, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah. All right.
We've got some questions here. I think it's mostly gaming. The apartment brewer, I have dumped 1,000 hours into Skyrim. Never got into Skyrim. Never got into any of the Skyrims, but I did.
Skyrim?
I lost some friends in that.
Skyrim.
Is that the best one? Because I know there's like Oblivion, and I know there's a few of them, but I
did not play any of the other ones, but when I read a review about Skyrim and I gave it a try, it was like
5 more beers.
Baddest ass game ever, man. I mean, I couldn't believe how awesome that was.
Yeah.
That was fun.
So big apartment brewer has donated $10. 5 more beers. I might do the 5 without Larry, but we're hanging out. Larry just cracked a beer. Thank you, Steve, man. Thanks for the love. So have you ever done the Oculus? Have you ever done the what's it called?
The what beer?
No, it's when you put on like the glasses in the hands and you're moving around and there's sensors.
Oh, the Oculus Rift. Yeah,
the Oculus.
Yeah, I played that.
Yeah.
I don't have one, but I would like to get one. The problem with the Oculus,
VR, just VR.
VR.
Yeah.
But the problem with the Oculus is that I think it's the one that's owned by Facebook.
I think you're right.
And they require you to have a Facebook account just to play the damn game.
So now you're not going to do it.
Fuck them. Fuck Facebook.
Yeah.
I quit using Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm done with it. So, yeah. So I don't do Oculus, but there are other ones. I think HTC,
there's a PlayStation one.
The PlayStation one.
There's a PlayStation one.
I mean, there's a bunch of them out there now. So
but Oculus now renamed some Meta BS. What up, Party Time? Big shout out to James in the house out there in Canada. He's got a great new YouTube channel, and I'll put his link in here. Really fast, so I want to go back to your Skyrim story because my buddy, Donnie, he's got VR, he's got the Oculus, and he had Skyrim on there, and it's weird because it's a really good VR, but it's just weird, like jumping off a castle or a cliff into water. You do kind of like your stomach does kind of drop, or just going up to girls, and obviously girls in all these video games are babes with big giant chests, and you're just like talking to them at like eye-to-eye level. You're like, this is weird, this is crazy, and I could see how this could be. Yeah, it's a trip, but you jump on a horse and you're moving around and you feel it like you're kind of on a psychological roller coaster where you're not moving, but just the senses of your eyes and where your body's at is weird. It's there was times we'd have to like not drink when we'd play because some guys would fall over. They'd fall into the TV a little bit because it's that engaging. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
just cut them off. Too much video games, man. Yeah.
I've been kind of like that's one reason why I didn't want to get one, because for a while in my house, I had a very small space as well.
You need space. Yeah. You need space.
But my garage that I'm in, it's padded. It's about 20 by 20.
Yeah.
And I can just move everything out of the way now. And then I guess you can tag the corners of your room, so it'll warn you if you're getting too close to those boundaries now.
Yeah.
Some of these. I actually might this winter might want to invest in one now that you got me thinking about it again.
You've got the garage. That's what we would do it in a garage. You just need a little pulley system that connects to like the top, and you rest the goggles right then and there. And then you put up like 4 or 5 sensors throughout the garage on the corners, and it does a really good job. It's pretty accurate. It's glitched a couple times, but for like, this is pretty much what, like the first beta that it's been in mass circulation. It's pretty good, especially for $600.
I'm gonna have to look into it again.
Check it out.
Because that's my next thing. If I was going to get back into games, I would do something like that probably. You know,
yeah.
Because
get a little workout going or something too, you know, burn some steps. Joseph Crawford, not only does Oculus require a Facebook account, but games you buy are also locked to your Facebook account, so you can sell the console, but no game's just a waste of money. I sold mine to get an Anvil. Facebook is not doing so good these days, probably hence their most recent name change, because they are getting some bad PR, as they probably should. But I'm with you. If I have to sign up for a website and they want me to log in through Facebook when I'm just trying to play chess, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Why do I need to log into this company for everything? Why do these guys have everything?
Just to use the game, you have to have an internet connection to log into your account. It's like, I just want to, what if I don't want to log into my account? I just want to turn on my game system and start playing locally on my own. You can't do it.
There's a joke in there for any stand-up comedians, you know, trying to get gas one day. Do you have a Facebook account? I just want to buy $20 worth of gas. You need a Facebook account. Like, go to your favorite microbrew. I just want this crowler. It's like, well, you got to log in through your Facebook email. I was like, damn, man, this is just too much control for one brand. The brand is too big than the world in my estimation. I don't need to log into all you guys for all this shit, man. This isn't a social security card. We're talking about Facebook, online college yearbook, where people go to pretty much lose their minds or post pictures of their kids. That's it. Never been on Facebook, never will. Rob Barnes, it's annoying to have to log into an outside account to play a game you just paid for. That kind of defeats the whole purpose. If I'm giving you my information, I should get it for free. But as I say, if it is free, you are the product. You are the product. You are the
You are what they're selling.
You are the good or the service.
Yeah, they're selling you to other people. They're selling your information and everything they collect on you to marketers who will then nag you with pop-up ads and emails and spam. It's just, no, I'm done.
It's too much. Rob Barnes is out. Kurt Pickey's out here. Have a good one. Cataracts is how I discovered homebrewing.
Really? That's an interesting story. Cataracts?
Nebzer, hey, give us some brewing tips. Don't watch Homebrew for Life videos. Watch.
All right, brewing tips. Don't watch Homebrewing for Live videos. Is that what you just said?
Don't watch our channel. You want to know what to do? Skip our shit.
No. Yeah, and that's something I plan on doing some more of, because honestly, last fall, for those who don't know, I actually went on a sort of a diet for like 4 or 5 months. I didn't drink beer or much beer, just a little bit. I didn't make beer. I started doing videos and tips and tricks and things. I'm on that verge of that again, even though I got a brew day this coming weekend. That beer is going to age for a while. I'm not going to drink it right away. So I'm going to go on a diet again. I think I'm going to stop doing brewing videos, and I'm probably going to go back to like the basic tip type videos. You know, Brian at Short
food.
It's just or food. But Brian just started doing these now, and that's how I started brewing. I was doing tips for years, and then I started doing brew days and live streams and product reviews, and kind of got away from that fundamental stuff. And so if I can't be brewing beer because I'm trying to lose weight, I might just go ahead and go back to that format again for a while, maybe.
What's the goal? Is it a time, or is it a certain amount of weight you want to lose?
Well, I went from like 250 to 240.
You're 250?
Well, I was 250. I got down to like 240, and now I'm probably back up to 250-ish again, I'm guessing.
How tall are you?
6'3".
Oh, you're way taller than I thought. Okay.
Yeah, so I can hold it fine. It's just that it's just not good health, especially when you get older. Right?
Understood. Yeah.
So, but I'll probably start doing some little short tips and tricks videos as best I can, just to pass the time and not actually have to make beer. Is my point, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking with Maury today, and we were talking about kind of what you're just talking about, how to do quick tips or something like that. We were talking. I was watching Maury wash yeast. He was pulling yeast out from batches and using it again. I was like, we could make these videos and stuff like that. We get some content out there. People will click on it. I think people will click on it. But like, I don't know. I'm kind of at the, you have to chase views, and sometimes you could just make the videos that you want to make. Like if you're trying to get a lot of views on YouTube in the brewing world, I would just make like 5-day IPA, hazy IPA, Pilsner video. But like at some point you're like, hey, I kind of want to make this video for me. Like I want to just do what I want to do. We're going to make a cooking video or a hack video. I think I'm going to start kind of going back and forth. Like, hey, like this video, we should do an IPA. We haven't done a West Coast IPA on the channel ever, I don't think. But that's going to probably do a lot better than a chili beer video, a lot better. But I just want to make this chili beer video because it's just different. I just got to mix it up, or I'm going to start to go crazy.
Yeah, you mix it up. That's that's good advice. You do some kind of what they call on the YouTube side. If you take these boot camps that they have for YouTubers, they call it the hero content, where you do something that you're trying to get viewers and subscribers, like big, well done, half hour long, but just fully produced content that's deep dive. That's something that's common that people would want to search on and find answers to. And then you do videos for your current subscribers or viewers that are already subscribed to please them. And then you do stuff that's experimental, like you said, stuff that you just want to do and see if it takes. So you do that too.
You're exactly right. And I think like, I don't know what your subscribers versus our non-subscribers are, but like we have good retention, I think, with the people that know the channel, and they see some guy screaming on a thumbnail or yelling. But for the unique visitors, I might not click on that video. Like if I don't know why you're funny, why just some obnoxious face or some guys, did I do that, or eating like a hot pepper face or something, I might not click on that because it could just be too obnoxious for me. So Larry, you're exactly right. There's unique visitors and there's returning people, and your average view duration is always going to be higher with your returning people, and with the unique people, it could be like 20 or 30 seconds. Like you better have their attention the whole time, or else they're out, and that brings you down. And obviously, YouTube's not going to recommend that video as much. So there is kind of a cat and mouse game you got to play with yourself and what you're doing, and whether you're doing this to get the maximum amount of view out there, or you want to do this because I want to do this video. So, and
then you got to factor in how much time are you really wanting to put into producing the video in terms of editing and planning and all that too. Because if you're just doing it for fun, it's not worth to spend 2 weeks of your time trying to come up and film and plan and edit and all that stuff when you're just doing something fun for just the hell of it. But so then you just kind of cut corners and you do things with like improvised shots and stuff. And I do have fun with it.
Yeah, and I used to get really burned out with editing, but it becomes a chore really fast if you're not trying to be creative with yourself. Everyone's creative in their own ways, but I want to be But I want to be like, hey, if I'm doing the same video over and over and over and over and over, I would know that, and it would feel like a chore. I wouldn't feel as good about it. But if you're like, hey, let's try something new, or this or that, or just try a completely different topic, it could
I see your point.
Keep you around. I don't know.
I mean, you're right though. You need to have something that's going to engage you for hours each night for days to want to do that, right? It's not something that you're obliged to do. Like, oh, I got a new product that I didn't ask for, sent by some company I didn't reach out to, who wants me to, it's like, no, sorry, I'm not interested. I'm not going to do a video on that. I may use it in another video in context of a different video, but I'm not going to make a video just for that, right?
I'm pretty much done with product review videos. My anvil bucket just broke, or my anvil foundry just broke. And it's leaking. It's leaking from the bottom. It's not leaking from the ball valve. It's got a leak in it, and I'll be able to fix it. But it's kind of a serious thing. It's like, this thing is leaking. I put it on one part of my garage over here, and I see it coming through the bottom, and I pick it up and I put it over there. Like, this thing is leaking, and it's not from the ball valve. It is leaking from the bottom, where it runs through all the electrical cords and stuff like that. And I love Anvil. I don't know if they're listening right now, probably not, but I've had it for a year, and it's breaking down.
Well, I got good news for you. If you come to my live stream on Saturday, and you can enter a raffle to win a new one.
Okay. Or, no, I can hit Matt up and
Yeah, I know.
probably
I'm
ask
just
for
joking.
no, and
You know.
I like Anvil and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, these products come out very fast. They come out very fast. And then they hit up YouTubers really fast to kind of vouch for it and make these videos about how good it is. And we don't know that at all.
You don't know. It's a new product.
It hasn't withstood the test of time, you know? I'll let you know in 10 years whether you should buy that Tacoma or not, because I know that Tacomas are the best cars in the world when it comes to durability. But if it's just a beer or a product or a new thing altogether, electrical brewing or 240 brewing, nobody knows unless you've used it for probably at least a year. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. But that's not what the expectation is, right? They want you to.
No.
We sent this to you. Have you looked at it yet? Well, no, it's still in the box in my garage. I don't have any need for it right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I don't have it. It's like, no, I haven't done anything with it yet, right?
Yeah.
But they want you to get. I mean, they want you to do something ASAP so they can market their product. And then you feel like you're just being taken advantage of. It's like you're giving me a $30 product or something, or maybe something more expensive even. You're like, like, you know, if you really wanted me to do this video in a set amount of time, you would have paid me, you know, $2,000 to go out and put everything aside and go do.
I'll be a salesman, whatever you want, I'll do it. But
that's what they did. They're trying to get away with getting you to do all the hard work for something that would retail for a price that actually cost them half the price they actually produce.
Sure.
You know, and they want you to do all the grunt work and be happy with it. You know, it's like, no.
That's why I
it's
just
like
sorry, what?
Oh no, I'm just starting to mumble now.
That's why it's good to work with Northern Brewer and those guys, because it's just recipes. You know, like, hey, can you send us all these stuff? And like, I'll give you a 10-second shout out. Like, yeah, that's a win-win. But like, it's just recipes. You can't go wrong. They might send you bad yeast or expired yeast or probably not even that. But you know, it's when they send me something, all I do is look at it really fast. And so, is this grained or is this milled or not milled? Because that's what I have to pay attention for. Because it's like, oh shit, now we have to like make this beer this week. Or like, oh, okay, we can, you know, make it next month or something. So
yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get it. I get who's the biggest homebrew company? Probably SS Brewtech or Spike. Who do you think makes the most money?
Oh, that's a good question.
Blickman?
Well, considering who's been in the game the longest, Blickman has been around since the early 2000s, if not earlier.
But what controls the game? Is it the fermenter? Do they make the most money off fermenters?
So I don't know, man. It makes me, that's a good question.
It would have to be, because they're not all selling us glycol chillers. They don't really all have all-in-one brew kits. They don't make their own wort chillers. It's pretty much driven through the kettle or the fermenter.
I think, I don't know for sure, but from my experience as an engineer doing product design for years for different industries, it kind of makes me think, my first suspicion is the biggest profit margins would be the kind of companies that put together their own brew systems from their existing product lines, because they can upsell those, package them as a package, make it easy to buy,
templates
here to buy this whole thing and stuff, and make it convenient for people to get started, right? So our starter kits and brew systems that are comprised of products they already sell, like Blickman, right? They do their kettles, but then they put together their Brewery, which I have here, right? And that's just two kettles that they already sell and make already. They just put them together with an adapter piece, and they I think they have a markup on it, I guess. I mean, whatever. But it makes me think that maybe they do. But as far as margins go, from Todd Porter just posted, who's going to be? Who knows? I mean, it's just guesswork. We're just speculating now.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I was never. I mean,
but then you have to take into consideration, like Blickman, for example, is what we're talking about here now, is that they do pro brewing systems too, right? So they make a lot of money doing that. So if you're talking about like actual profitable companies, probably the ones that cater to pro and home brewing markets together, I guess.
No, I'm with you on that. I just don't know, like how much. realistically, like how much people have like the CF5 conical, you know, because that's what, $500 for a 5-gallon tank.
And for home brewing, I think that's overkill, but that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, and again, there's no right or wrong. I'm
No.
still a plastic fermenter guy. I love
Yeah.
plastic fermenters. I love that there's no gasket. They just clip on, especially if you're doing like a 2-day Kveik beer. You know, if you're aging something, then it's a little bit different of a story. But I love plastic buckets. I love the 6.5 ones that Northern Brewer just gave me in that kit. And I'll use those for a long time. And it's not like you're brewing every day with that for 5 years. 6 months from now, they will be lost. Whether it's they just hung out on the side yard too long, or I brought them to something else, they will be gone. But yeah, I don't know. I would like. What do you know about? I would think that Spike is probably the newest to the table. I would think Blickman was the biggest. You're talking about they've been around the longest, and then probably I'd guess SS Brewtech. I think I remember them longer than Spike. And then all of a sudden, Spike was kind of in your face about 2 or 3 years ago. I know a lot. Their Flex had a lot of good shine, and people were into that fermenter. It was somewhat affordable. It's about $250.
Yeah.
About $250. And was it under pressure? Or was it before the under pressure time? Did it have a ball out?
Two models.
They have two models.
Yeah, one for pressure and one without at different price points. Yeah.
$100, tack on $100, something
Maybe.
like that.
Yeah. And what was smart about their idea is that it's just the lid that's different. So the pressure lid is like the CF5 lid, actually, right? So they reuse their products. So in terms of margins, they're not making a new part; they're reusing an existing one from a different product line for a new purpose. It's like kind of smart, right? But they also have like this cheap lid that just clamps on real.
Clamp it.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, just a small little step on clamps. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think these companies doing these $500 fermenters, do you think they're doing okay? Do you think they're, I had a Northern Brewer on, Todd, and he was talking about the surge of their industry when everybody was doing good, or when they were doing their best. Maybe not the best, but they obviously killed it in COVID, as with I think most YouTubers. People got back into homebrewing. But like the big homebrewing rush was like 2013, 14, 15. That was when everybody was getting into homebrewing, as with I was. But I don't know. I'm not worried, but like I don't know. Like, are these things going to withstand the test of time? Like, are people going to go back to plastic fermenters? You can just get like a Anvil bucket thing for about $100. I mean, is the $500 fermenter day kind of coming to an end, or is it doing okay?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, stainless steel. It should last forever, right? Yeah. No matter what brand you buy and what you paid for it. My concern is more around the gadgets, the electronic gadgets. Like for example, I have a grandfather here that I've had since I think 2017. It's less than 5 years old. It's only 4 years old or so, right?
$1,000.
Yeah, $1,000, and now the darn screen, the little LED screen, LCD screen is all getting all smudgy and distorted and missing pixels and crap, and it's just like, and I barely used it because I got other systems too, right? I haven't used it a whole lot, so it's like the longevity. I mean, I'm wary of any product that's got a proprietary system that you can't go out and buy a commercial off-the-shelf part to replace it.
You can. I've broken my buddy's grandfather LCD screen, and they sent us another one for like $100 or $200.
Well, that's as long as they're still making them, right? I mean, over time, that company can be sold again, go out of business. The product line can be shut down.
2.0,
I mean, you take a big risk with products like that. So, like even like the Blickman Brew Commander, great little controller. I love mine, but I've only had it for a year and a half. I mean, how long will that last before the screen starts going bad? Because it's a screen, right? So, and you contrast that to a different controller like the Spike controllers. They use COTS components. They use the big industrial switches. They use the replaceable units. That if they go bad, just go buy a new one that fits in there and wire it up and reprogram it, right? So as far as longevity goes,
it's a shot in the dark, man. You're playing with fire because nobody knows.
Chances. Yeah. It's like you go back to the old-fashioned brew system with the cooler and the bucket or the 3 vessels and like gas burners,
Yeah.
then you never have to worry about being obsolete. You'll always have that thing working for 50 years.
Forever, especially if you're using gravity and no pumps. I mean, gravity always works, and
you'll hand that down to your kids, your grandkids,
Yeah.
and sell it for like a good price later on.
yeah,
It'll never go obsolete. So, but the downside, as you know, is that, well, now you're doing things a little bit more manually. Now you're checking things and you're opening valves manually. And so you're trading convenience for longevity. And it's a personal choice. So that's my point.
and I think plastic fermenters will always work. I think they'll always work. And even with, I have the Anvil bucket or something, like the gasket comes out from time to time and I've got to wedge it in there. And then I don't have the peace of mind of like, is this thing really airlocked or airtight? And then in the morning I do see the airlock going and it is going, but like, why can't this gasket just have stayed in there the whole damn time and not like driven me crazy like that? Because I think brewing is all about peace of mind. Like you want to feel good knowing like this is good to go, and anything that's like, is there a leaky hose right now? Is this something going on? And then it's just going to drive you crazy. It's going to drive me crazy.
You spend half a day, 6 hours to brew, plus hours to set up and a couple hours to tear down and clean up. You want that beer to turn out good. You don't want it to turn out like crap or go bad or nothing.
That's a good choice of words what Jonathan Elliott just said. You should have to learn the manual side of brewing before you get into the more complex things. I think that's a great choice of words. And
I completely agree.
Absolutely. And Gnome Brewing brought up a good point a couple months ago, and I actually made a video on that. He was like, anytime you're even touching your CO2 tank or pulling something out of your kegerator or putting something in, always check your hoses for leaks, because I have burned a whole CO2 tank just from having a keg kick and putting another one back on. And you just have a squirt bottle, a little DeWalt phone light, anything, and you're going to know really fast if you're going to have some CO2 in the morning.
Right.
Yeah.
That too.
Hey, can we do one more, Larry? Is that cool?
Oh, I got a half a beer still. So
all right, hold it down.
This.
I'm gonna do one more nightcap, and then we'll probably hit that 2-hour mark. Hold it down, Larry.
All right.
Por favor.
Sounds good. You betcha. So let's see what we got here. Let's go back up to this little conversation. We
haven't done one of those yet.
What's that? See. So Todd Porter says CPVC manifold in a 56 quart cooler. That's what I actually started with, was coolers and CPVC manifolds. That was my very first all grain system that I built myself. I still have some of the parts for it laying around. I actually reused it on my larger 72 quart cooler system back here somewhere. It's a great way to go, getting started. Learn things, do it the manual way. Learn the process, understand what the process needs, how to adjust, how to adapt to unexpected situations. Don't depend upon a Bluetooth connection and an app to tell you what to do, because if something goes awry, then how do you know what to do to fix the problem, right? That's very good advice. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see, gravity fed system. Yeah, I had that for a while too, and that works fine. There's less to clean. You don't have to clean the pumps. You don't have to mess around or worry about contamination in those pumps. The pump seizing or airlocking on you. It's just less stuff to break, more basic, fundamental stuff. Really good. The biggest problem with the hobby is they spend so much time making your recipe than time to brew it, along with all the effort for the money, and money is involved. So it gives someone anxiety. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. I mean, just for example, for my brew this weekend, I spent hours trying to formulate the perfect recipe. I did a little research, go online, compare other people's recipes, read about aging for my one recipe, how to add wood flavor, for example. You go through those, you do all your grain ratios, you do all your calculations to get your IBUs and colors and all the grain contributions just right. And that's just hours just making the recipe, right? And then you got a skillet for the brew system that you're trying to brew on, and then so that's hours in advance. And then there's the setup for myself, where you got to go around and grab all the gear from every corner and closet and crevice in your house because you don't have a dedicated space, and then you got to move stuff out of the way, set it all up, brew, clean up, hang things to dry, put it all back away in every corner of your house. I totally get it, man. I've been doing that for 21 years now. And it's one of the things that it's a disincentive for me to want to brew more often. Question. You brought me about batch sparging from Christopher Vodka. Yeah, batch sparging is good, man. I mean, I prefer it. Honestly, I don't like fly sparging. No sparging either. I like, that's fine too. But batch sparging is where I think I like it the best. Am I ever going to do a sour beer? A true sour? I have never done a true sour. I've done kind of like what CH was referring to as a kettle sour, where I use a little lactic acid to sour the beer a little bit artificially. When I do my fruit beers, it actually does a good job there. An actual true sour, I'm a little bit skeptical about doing, because once you add bacteria like that into your brewery,
I got to clear my cake handles. I got to clear my faucets.
Oh, welcome back.
I'm due. I'm back.
Right.
Cheers, everybody.
Talking.
Right on, Larry. Thanks for being here. We still got 70 people here. It's 7:20 my time.
Yeah. But as far as the sour goes, Dominic, I'm a little worrisome because from my experience with like doing sourdough yeast and other kind of things in my kitchen, that stuff gets in your environment, on your counters and walls and in your air. And next thing you know, everything you make after that tastes sour. I'm worried about that happening to me. So I will just go out and buy the sours and I will brew non-sour beer until I can feel more comfortable not potentially contaminating my beers. So that's it. That's my statement.
I had a buddy who was trying to make bread, forever sourdough bread, and I was like, dude, you just got to give it up. We can just go down to the store and buy better bread for $4. We got to figure this out.
I love sourdough bread at home, man, because the whole house smells delicious while it's baking.
So messy, though. It's so messy. It's just so much flour, and we had a real small kitchen, and
all kitchens are a problem. Yeah. So you're right. I have a small to medium-sized kitchen. It's just enough space.
Yeah. Just hit the button. Mandatory beer chug. We'll get down with that NBC. Goose Fraba. Goose Fraba's out there in Texas. Yeah, we're doing Brew in the Bag. I need to track down a big bag because I want to do a 10-gallon batch of beer, which means I need to have a bag that's, about 20, big enough for 20 pounds. And I don't think I have that right now. But I've still never done a splatch, a split batch. Have you ever done one of those, Larry?
A split batch? You mean like a 10-gallon batch you split with different yeast, or a split batch in terms of party guile brewing?
Take 10, cut it in half, and then hit it with a couple different yeasts or a couple different...
I do that all the time. I do it all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a bunch of videos, I got a few videos at least I know of that where I've done that. I would try different yeast strains with the same base beer, and I would taste them in a later video. I don't know what they all are right now. I can't name them by name, but I've done that. I thought you were starting to say, have I done like the party guile where, like, for example, this Saturday, I'm doing a high gravity beer. And a lot of people, when they do this, and I've never done this because I don't have the bandwidth to brew 2 batches of beer in one day, but you can actually run some more sparge water through your grains and get a light beer out of that heavy beer and make 2 beers with the same grain bill. I have yet to do that, and I want to do that at some point when I have the time to actually have 2 brew systems going at the same time, which to me sounds like a challenge that I may have to accept sooner than later now. But yeah.
I mean, you're doing 6 hours of work, might as well do 10-gallon batches of beer. It doesn't take that much time, man. Yeast in the Breeze brought up a really good point right here. He was saying do splash. What am I saying wrong?
What does it say?
Smash, splash.
Smash, splash.
Smash. Same malt and same hops, split batch.
I never even heard the splash term yet.
Yeah.
That's funny. I've single malt. Yeah, that's something to do too.
I got a big kettle. I got a big brand new kettle from these guys. I gotta start doing these split batches.
Yeah. What kettle did you get?
20-gallon anvil, and it's nice. It's a kettle, so it's going to withstand the test of time, just like your kitchen stuff, your crock pot, not your crock pot, but your spaghetti pot, it's stainless steel. Split batch splatches. Sounds like a video game on Nintendo Switch. Splatoon. Smash, single malt and single hops. Single MILFs and single housewives. I enjoy doing a reiterated mash. What's a reiterated mash?
Oh, that's where you, well, don't get me wrong, or don't, I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong, but don't judge me because I'm going by memory here, but I think it's not like a decoction mash, but it's like where you pull off some amount of the mash and you add it back. You know what? You got me because I did know what it was. And
that's what the chat's for, Braj. What is? No brewing twice. Mash, and then do the second mash with wort. Use the previous mash as the strike water. Duly noted. What did CH name name the smoked beer? It was Yeast in the Barrage or Yeast in the Beast. No, Smokey the Barrage. And I was going to bring that up in a video today. I wasn't prepared at all. I'm glad Larry was here and he we talked about this because we were trying to, finagle this around his anniversary and your anniversary was supposed to be tomorrow.
It is tomorrow, yeah.
It's tomorrow. So I wasn't prepared at all. But yeah, I should have written that down. Everybody liked Smokey the Barrage better for the smoked beer. And in all honesty, I highly recommend not making that beer. I wanted to do it just to see if I could make smoky beer. It's the easiest beer in the world to make. You're doing nothing except buying smoked hops, smoked malt. That's it. That's literally it.
And I feel your pain because you said earlier that you have 5 gallons of smoked beer, and that's one thing I will never brew is something that specialty that large because because it's fine in samples, it's interesting, but now you have 5 gallons to chug, and it's
Yeah, can I put them in my smoked beer or my ribs? Something? Can I use some of that smoked beer and put it in there to give it some of that hickory flavor or something? Yeah, without.
Yeah. Put it at some of the moisture. Yeah, just put it in the foil when you wrap the ribs in foil.
Ruin 2 videos. Party time brew. He's got a great channel there. Have you checked out Party Time Brew's channels? We talked about this on, I think, the Clawhammer one.
I don't think I have.
His channel's funny as shit, man. Jules Game Art. What's up, Braj? Jules Game Art is the Braj. He did my logo for the MTV. I still got to get him a shirt, man. I'm sorry. I got to send like 3 people in here shirts. It'll all be done by the end of this week. Zach Pearson, I'll start commenting one day. My opinion is never needed. CH would love beer and food pairing videos. I would love beer. I would love food. I would love more food videos. Use some of that smoked beer. I'm some pizza dough. All right. Hopefully brewing this weekend. Haven't since late September. That's not that long ago. I only brew like 2 times a month. 25 batches a year. Jules, you're the man, Barrage. Party time right here. Party time. I'm going to get baked out of my mind tonight and watch Party Time Brew. Hang out in a jacuzzi with the Speedo on and drink.
What a visual.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, out in the freezing cold in Canada. He lives good.
A Canuck.
Theron's a moderator too. Theron's got the wrench as well. Everyone's a moderator. I don't know what that means. Waiting for Larry to sub to Yeast and the Beast. I'm not gonna say anything
I haven't done that. All right, now hold on. Now I have to go.
Called out, man, in the chat. Called out. I seem to constantly have 20 gallons going. That's awesome, Theron. That's awesome. That's a lot of beer. I couldn't have 30 or 20 gallons going unless I had some roommates or something. But at this point in my life, I just kind of go out to dinner with people. 2 hours in, no MBC. We'll get an MBC going. Just ordered the carbonation lid from Amazon. Jeremy Rogers, that thing works great. That thing works really good. You're drinking beer in about 4 hours. You don't have to worry about it being overcarbed. Homebrew and pizza dough are a match made in heaven. Duly noted. All right, he got you, Yeast and the Beast. He got you, Yeast and the Beast. Yeah, now you have to subscribe to his channel.
Yeah, my subs have kind of flatlined. I was not that I've been following the stats too much, but I usually would check my account once every day or 2 to see how many subscribers I have, and it used to jump up leaps and bounds. Now I've been kind of flat, like a plateau for like weeks.
You don't put out that much content. You don't put out as
Yeah.
content as much as Short Circuited and
Well, I used to, but not as much anymore.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we could want to talk off camera or whatever, but like I've consistently for the last couple of years gotten anywhere from only about not only I'm grateful, like 500 subscribers to about 1,000 a month. Like that's pretty much it for like the last 2 years. That's why I always kind of thought it was like this ever kind of revolving door, because you see comments from people for a year and then they're so stoked into brewing and then you don't see them at all anymore, and there's just new guys that are, hey, you got me into brewing, and that's awesome. But I just don't think people stay with the hobby.
No, that's true. I think there's people who give up or move on. I mean, honestly, I've considered quitting myself because of time, lack of time, honestly.
Quitting YouTube or quitting brewing?
Well, quitting YouTube for the time, but brewing probably because of my weight. It's like a health choice, to change my lifestyle around a little bit. But I got all this stuff and all this experience and interest. I mean, I can't get away from it now. I'm kind of in it.
And you brought that up last time. You said if you didn't have the YouTube channel, you didn't know how much you'd brew. I said the same, but I think I would brew way more. And I'd probably be maybe a brewery owner if I didn't have the channel, or I'd maybe still be working at a brewery. But like we said before, all of the downtime is behind the camera, is in the editing room, and that's pretty much eating up at all my
free time,
my free time, all my brew days and stuff like that. So
go ahead.
I'm sorry, but before I had the YouTube channel, I felt like we were just brewing all the time, and then when we started filming it, like everything slowed down. So
it does slow down because of that. Because I'm not researching beers, I'm not watching other people give tips, and I'm not reading. I'm not keeping up the speed on things.
Yeah,
I'm just turning my wheels, doing what I did on the last 6 videos, making the videos.
Yeah.
So you feel like you're getting behind actually a little bit in terms of the hobby, and you brew less often.
Larry the seltzer guy. Larry, do you do hard seltzers? Would you brew a hard seltzer? 5-gallon batch?
Would I give it a shot because I've never done it before? Yeah, but do I have a personal interest in drinking seltzers? No. I mean, Zima, White Claw, all that bullshit.
Mike's
I'm
hard.
Not interested in it. Well, Mike's hard. What's funny though? It's like every time a new brand comes out and it's like the marketing's all over the place. Oh, look at this. Oh, here, try one. And you try one. Oh, that's not bad. But then you buy a 6-pack of them,
sugar,
and you're like, oh, these aren't so good after all. I mean, the first one was okay, but then you drink 2, you're like, oh man, the taste is in your mouth, and you just it's like chemicals, and it's just, so.
Mike's Hard Lemonade wanted so bad, man. Remember, they had so many commercials out, and they were trying to be so funny, and they had to have been owned by Budweiser or something, right? I mean, they had more exposure than anybody, including Budweiser and Coors. I felt like there was a Mike's Hard commercial on in between every baseball or football game, probably 1999 to 2003.
Yeah,
because it was everywhere. Oh, yeah. It was everywhere for a while. Like best product placement, right there, right next to the Heineken and the what was the beers in the at that time? It was like Stone, the Green Stone, Anchor Steam, Pete's Wicked, Mike's Hard, and maybe Zima, and then the bottom shelf was like the Budweisers, MGD. Michelob Ultra.
I mean, my
owned by
issue,
Coors.
Yeah, but see, my issue with seltzers, to me the analogy is the same as frozen yogurt, right? It's like it's a hot fad for like a few years, and then it goes dormant. It dies for a decade.
Smirnoff Ice,
and then it comes back again. For like a few years, and then it dies again. It's like a cycle. It's like I mean, this is nothing new. I mean, Zima was the first thing I remembered, and that's from the '80s, and then like in these other brands over. But just look at the cycle. Every so many years, oh, look at this. No, it's all about White Claw and stuff, and that's going to die off in another couple of years, and then it'll be like no one will even heard of what a seltzer for the next 5 or 10 years, and then it'll come back again. Oh, look at this new brand it's Black Claw now, or whatever.
Blackfoot.
Yeah, or something, right? Yeah. So I'm not interested personally. I've read articles. I've seen how it's done. I just don't want to drink 5 or 10 gallons of it. That's what it comes down to. Like your smoke beer. It's like, would I want to make 5 gallons of smoke beer? No. Would I do a 1 gallon batch to try it? Well, no, because that's a lot of work for 1 gallon.
Sure.
5
I could never do that.
Yeah.
Crystal Pepsi.
So,
Crystal Pepsi's coming back. Crystal Pepsi IPA.
Crystal Pepsi.
Yeah. Crystal Pepsi Hazy.
There you go.
No, but that is crazy. Like, what happened with Four Loko? Like, Four Loko was the coolest thing ever for 2 years. Ultimately, with the college kid crowd and teenagers. I don't think my dad was drinking Four Loko. But then it was just gone. It was just gone.
It just disappears because the interest tapers off. Whatever. And
it's just too much. It's like 12% Rockstar Red Bulls. People learned, just brewing. People caught up. And they're like, this is not healthy. What is this neon green ooze that tastes like carbonated melted Slurpee that is $1.99? I'm surprised Red Bulls are even still around. I never got into Red Bulls or Monsters or anything. I would always just drink coffee.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the only time I drink was with vodka. What? Oh,
remember Surge?
I've heard of. Yes, I remember. I never had it.
Oh, I'm thinking of Jolt. What was the Jolt soda?
Jolt soda from the 80s.
Yeah,
Yes.
when it was half coffee, half Coca-Cola or something.
Yeah, it was like 4 times as much caffeine as. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, and they used to give it to us kids. We'd go to punk rock concerts at 12, 13 years old at the local churches, and they'd be handing us out Jolt.
And at the teen dance clubs I used to frequent in the 80s too.
Well, we can't sell these kids alcohol, but what's going to do the exact same thing that's not alcoholic? Well, let's put coffee and Coca-Cola together and see what happens. Ecto Cooler Hazy Smoky Coffee IPA. Come on down. Gotta call it soon. We'll do an NBC here when we get out of here. Really quick, want to give a shout out to Larry, man. This has been fun. Tonight,
this is my last beer. So
yeah, me too. This kind of snuck up on us. Four Loko was sued because some kid died. That probably happened more than once. That probably happened. But at the end of the day, it's like, why did the kid get to sue you? There's people that could drink a bottle of Jägermeister or a bottle of Goldschlager or all that cinnamon shit. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I almost died of Four Loko. Man, I remember drinking Jolt and then going skateboarding. Yeah. Jolt was like mid 90s in my book. I don't know.
I'd drink Jolt. I'd be up all night, man. It was, I mean,
that's where the Ultima 10 comes in. You got to really get the last castle, man. We got our 6-pack of Jolt right here. What up, dude? What up, Raj? My grandfather put whiskey in his coffee. That's that old school shit. That is definitely that old school shit.
Oh, I still do that.
You do? In the morning?
Well, not
or at night.
Not on the weekday mornings because I have to work and stuff. But if I was going to go out to play golf on an early Saturday morning or something, and it's kind of cold out like it is this time of year, yeah, man, I'll get a big thermos full of coffee. I'll put the whiskey in, or maybe
never done that.
Vodka,
Now I have to.
Yeah. I mean, it keeps you warm, it keeps you buzzed, and it keeps you happy while you're out there in the 40-degree weather.
Okay. All right. Duly noted. Yeah. All right. What is that called? Like a caffeine Boilermaker?
Well, there's like a Black Russian, which is the Kahlua vodka and coffee.
Okay.
It's a variant of that, and there's a White Russian by putting cream in it with the coffee. But it's not really a White Russian because a White Russian doesn't really have coffee. It's just like Kahlua vodka and cream. So the coffee is like the add-on.
Duly noted. I got to give that a go. I got to get Crown and Coffee equals Hunter's Blends. Ryan Carter, Four Loko went away because mixing uppers with downers isn't a good combo, and they ultimately wound up outlawing pre-mixing alcohol with caffeine. Hence, you can still get vodka Red Bull because, I smoke and drink coffee. Thank you for that, Ryan Carter. Well, Larry, we're coming down to the wire, man. Anything you want to say or promote or talk about, for the new people here? You got a stream coming up on Saturday?
Well, yeah, I just want to throw a plug in before I leave with my last sip of beer that this Saturday on my YouTube channel at noon Central Time, so it would be 10 a.m. your time out in the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to be doing my bourbon stout beer modeled after what's called Dragon's Milk, which is a Michigan bourbon stout. And Clay from Jaded Brewing. If you're a fan of immersion chillers and are looking to buy or thinking about buying a Jaded Brewing brand tri-coil immersion chiller, show up for that stream. Clay will be here, the owner. He'll be here to answer all the questions and talk about it with you guys. And we're going to have some beers. We're going to drink my 2 high PA that I brewed and drink some of these Dragon Milks, answer some questions, hang out, and hopefully brew a successful beer on the Brew Easy back here. So looking forward to seeing all of you there if possible, but at least hopefully some of you.
I will check in, Larry, and I'll talk to you a little bit after about a tactic for the stream. But can you? I'm gonna keep it going. I'm gonna go fill up another beer. Can you hold it down until I at least come back?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
These guys, everybody's got questions for Larry. Ask away because he knows his shit. Whether it's food, whether it's wine, whether it's beer, let him know. Be right back.
And I'll be gone. Yep, you betcha.
You're not going to be here when I come back, are you?
No. Yeah. See you. All right. Yeah, sure. I'll answer some questions before I go. I got a few minutes, it sounds like. Noon Central Time. Yeah, that's what I said. That would be 1 o'clock Eastern. That would be 11 o'clock Mountain Time, 10 o'clock Pacific Time. And if you're in Australia or wherever else, sorry, you'll have to stay up to watch it. But I'm not brewing beer at 3 a.m. my time for you. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. And then let's see what else out here. Wow, man, you guys sure do chat a lot in this feed, man. I should pay more attention to what's going on in the feed than I do to the audio here. Oh man. But cool. Well, hey y'all, thanks for having me on. And okay, I got a question here. Jeremy Rogers, fan of 3-2-1 method for ribs. For competition, for spare ribs, yes. For personal consumption, no. What I mean by that is 3-2-1 is for spare ribs. If you're doing baby backs, it's more of a 2-1-1, which means 2 smoking, 1 wrapped, and 1 open and basting. The issue I have with it is that I like the more firm, darker, smokier bark you get on a rib that's been cooking the entire time, exposed to the smoke. Right, that's a personal preference thing, but they can dry out around the edges a little bit, right? So that's why for competitions, like I did in my last video about the ribs that CH was mentioning earlier, that's a technique that is really popular on the competition circuit, because then they can get ribs that are more evenly tender and cooked all the way across. So when they cut the bones, they're all homogeneously delicious. So any bite that judge gets is going to taste about the same. So unless you're doing competition ribs, it's fine. If you want to do it that way, go ahead. It's a personal choice thing. But personally, I think it's too much maintenance. I just want to throw my ribs on, go to the store, go to the bar, go play disc golf, go ride a bike, do whatever, go mow the lawn. I don't even want to care about my food. I'll just let it ride until it's done. And I'm more of the keep it simple, stupid mindset. That's why. But if you have the energy and time and initiative to go do the 2-1-1 thing or the 3-2-1 for spare ribs, by all means, go for it. It turns out pretty good, as you can see in that video I posted back in September or October, maybe. Did I vote yesterday? No, there were no elections in my area. I guess those elections were out east. I guess my town or my area didn't have any election yesterday. Let's see. What's good starting equipment for filming and editing, Jonathan? Well, I'll tell you what I like. I've gone around through about a half dozen different video editing tools. And currently and finally, hopefully, I have settled on DaVinci Resolve. And the reason why is that it's free, that it's production quality, free video editing software used by movies and television studios. It's got color grading, audio editing, special effects, all that stuff built in. It's got a bit of a learning curve, but there are plenty of YouTubers out there that show you the basics of how to get started. So I would suggest starting there. And of course, then you'll need hardware like a PC or Mac or something, or that's capable of running it, of course. What rub do I do on my meat? Or do I rub my meat? Yeah, it's a personal question. I'm just kidding. I hope you mean my ribs and stuff, right? Well, ribs, I rub the brisket, I rub all the meats. Yeah, I do a dry rub, of course. Certainly, the exact ratio of ingredients depends on the kind of meat and stuff, but yeah, I do.
We can't do local cooking competitions here. We're actually trying to figure out to do a chili cook-off, stemming from your idea at our buddies' breweries, and we're not allowed to do it legally in California. Do you know if that's a state thing or a nationwide thing?
That you can't do one? I'm sorry, what was that?
We cannot do a chili cook-off competition at my buddy's brewery, and it's Booze Brothers Brewing. They're kind of like a couple steps down from being corporate.
It's probably got to do with health codes, and that's state controlled. So
okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. And it's like
state or local. I mean, it's state and local basically. It's a combination of the two.
Yeah. Because obviously, if you're a food truck guy, you have to have all the food handlers licenses and the permits and the grease trap things. You know, there was a thing in San Diego where people didn't have grease traps; they couldn't be a food truck anymore. So yeah, and California's already probably has more permits than anything. So that wasn't hard for me to understand. Yeah, but yeah, we wanted to do a chili cook-off thing, and we could not do it. It was a bummer. I would just do it. I would just do it. Like, no one's going to bust us on this. Can we do this? No.
He risks.
Are we going to get away with this? Probably yes. Better to ask for forgiveness than permission, you know?
Well, you got to be careful because I don't know about the inspectors there, but here in this state, they're pretty much cocks about stuff, you know? So, you know, they can shut you down. You know, don't want to shut down his brewery or nothing. So
but I think if the smaller you are, the safer it is. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, we had that rib cook-off I did last month. That video that you're talking about earlier was
it's a good video
done in a neighborhood.
I saw that.
You saw that because the guys that were the local restaurant that was really part of it, not really part of it. They would have been part of it, but they didn't want to be associated with it for risk of being shut down because it's like health inspection. It's like the food's not prepared in the commercial kitchen in the restaurant. That's
I get
the
it.
Big hang up. Yeah.
How'd you get the what's the thing called where you can shoot from the sky?
Oh, a drone?
Yeah, you had a drone for that, right?
Yeah. I bought one right before that day. Actually, I just got it. Yeah.
What do you think of that thing?
Oh, it's a badass. I didn't buy the high end model with the 4K. I bought a slightly lower 2.7K model, but who cares? I mean, it cost a few $100.
Yeah.
And it shot great footage for what I needed it to do.
Absolutely.
And it's great. It just took a little bit of a learning curve. You need to learn the controls to get the smooth pans and the rotations in your shots. You know, a little bit of learning to practice to get it right, but it's fun. It's good.
Do you have like a little mini SD card you put in there? Or has it got kind of its own little memory card that goes to Wi-Fi?
It's a little mini SD card that snaps in, and then I could pop it out, put it in a big adapter card, and put it in my computer.
I think I got one.
And then I can download it.
I can plug
it in, or I can plug it into a USB port because it charges off a USB. So I can download it off a USB. I can do it off the card. I can do it remotely over Wi-Fi from the controller right onto the phone.
I like it.
All kinds of ways. Yeah, it's fun. You should look into it, but be careful. Just like every other police out there, there's feds out there trying to bust YouTubers using drones.
Why?
To find them, because you need a commercial pilot's license, a commercial drone license to do any kind of footage on YouTube with a drone.
I'm out. Better to ask for forgiveness and permission.
It costs hundreds of bucks. Hours of your time. I've not done it myself, so but
Duly noted. Duly noted. We got a t-shirt related question. Guillermo Jimenez. Hey, Rogers, just got my black Homebrew for Life t-shirt, and the first time wearing it, it somehow got a bleach stain. Anyone know? if dyeing the bleach stain with black dye will work. Talk to me in the emails after that. I want to know if it showed up like that, because obviously we'll refund it. But if that's self-inflicted, does anybody know how to get a bleach stain with black dye? If it will work, if not, I do not know. And
I've used a black Sharpie marker and just colored it in. That's what I do.
That's a fucking really good Homebrew for Life answer too.
Yeah, I mean, so just go get a Sharpie like this one here, the Sharpie, and just
it's a Sharpie
because I've gotten white spots from bleach on my shit before.
Yeah.
And I just go in there and I just color it in, and as long as the spot is smaller than like a dime, no one's going to notice really.
And you're kind of lucky if it is a black shirt, because it's not going to work with any other shirt. I mean,
well, that's what I meant, black shirt. That's what I thought he said. Yeah.
No, there are. Like, are there yellow Sharpies?
There's different colors. Yeah, I mean, but yellow, I don't know.
Black ones.
But there's blue, there's red, there's purple. There's different colors. I don't know about yellow, honestly, or what shade of yellow. But yeah, there's some of them out there like that.
Thanks, Larry. Guillermo, let me know outside of this. I'd like to make it right. Put some Sharpie on it. Dill Pickle 51. Reverse tie-dye barrage. Yeast, I'm dying over here. What's going on? I drink 4 Loco still and Mike's for a quick jump start. Steven Delgado, you are more of a man than I am, man. That is dangerous waters. I took this $1 marker and colored it in. Larry the Legend. That's it right there. Turn it into a pillowcase and have Homebrew for Life dreams. Whatever happened over here. Drink roofies. Well, Larry, man, it's been real, man, and we'll be there on Saturday. We'll check in you out, because you do what, about a 5-hour stream? I mean,
it's about 5 hours.
It's a stream.
This one might go 6 hours, because as you'll see on Saturday, that I'm brewing a 5-gallon batch on a 10-gallon BREWERY system, and there is a very fine line as to how much water you could have in the mash tun versus what's down in the boil kettle. Because the boil kettle's got a boil coil heating element in there that's got to be submerged at all times. So you're taking away some of the mash water to heat up the coil water, and with a high grain bill like this, I have to have a very, very high or very low grist ratio, which means a very thick mash, in order to do this. So in order to compensate for this, is my point, is that I have to add more water early on to thin out the beer, so I don't burn out my coil while I can do the mash, which means I have to boil off the water after the mash is done. So I'm going for a 90-minute boil this time, not an hour-long boil. So it's going to be about 5.5 hours. It's probably my guess.
I'd be more worried about you breaking your computer, man. Having a 6-hour stream, is that thing just like vibrating red hot or what?
It's funny. I even record the streams on my computer too. So in case it's
50 gigabytes.
Well, with H.265 compression, it's actually manageable. It's that last stream I did back in August with those guys from Homebrewing TV. That was about that was probably less than 20 gigabytes.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
But it's not 6 hours, 5 hours.
Yeah.
Larry, did you mess with any of these things? Cam links or Elgato's or?
No, I don't have any hardware, because I have to set up. I don't have a dedicated studio spot for all this stuff. So everything's software. I have hotkeys on my keyboard.
Yeah.
And presets on my apps that I can double click on and move around with. I don't have Elgato or any of those kind of things. Oh, there you go.
Just as a gamer, I'm a gamer. That's how you have to run the systems through and stuff like that. Or what are the cameras called? What are the cameras that we have called? DSLR cameras. If you want to run a DSLR camera through, you have to do that. Well, all right, Larry, I appreciate you being here. You're more than welcome to hang out. I don't know if you're trying to leave right now. I know it's
no, I gotta go. I gotta go see what the wife's doing after all. And
no, I hear you.
So.
Well, I think, I got food in the other room. I got to call it too, guys. We haven't done an NBC, but we may not be on tomorrow night. I'm behind with videos. I got to edit them. I'm going to try my best. I don't have anybody written down. I don't have anybody down for November. Larry was the first barrage. Heather and Tim Sharp, I thought the license for the drone was clearly for larger drones. I don't know. Sounds like those guys did not run that by the police department.
That's a misnomer. So
Richard Glasseye.
if you're under 250 grams, you don't need to register it with the FAA. That's what that means. What I'm talking about is that if you're using any drone, no matter how heavy or small or detailed, for anything that they would consider a commercial purpose, which a YouTube video, because of the ads and everything, are considered commercial purposes, you must have a commercial drone license.
Crazy.
Or they'll like come after you. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
Crazy.
So, all right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for having me on.
We'll do an NBC. We'll get out of here. Larry, thanks again, man. I'll talk to you in the morning, and this thing will probably be live. And we did 2 hours. That means I can keep it live. It's when it gets 3-4 hours, then I know it just gets dangerous waters with
okay. All right,
drinking
guys.
on the internet, man. Larry, have a good one, man. See you later, Brush.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bye.
Let me click on that. Let's go to here. Is there anybody in there? Yeah, big shout out to Larry, man, and that'll be cool on Saturday. I don't know how these guys do those live brew days, but definitely not in the Homebrew for Life cards anytime soon, unless maybe we shoot that at Trevor's Brewery, at Southdale Brewery. It's just not enough space around here. Yeast in the Barrage. Let me think about this. Yeast, if I do it tomorrow, we'll get you on. I know you got this setup. You sent me on the microphone on Discord. That's pretty cool. But I know my dad's birthday is Friday. Pops is the big 70. And Goman has a birthday tomorrow. So let me think about this. But NBC, cheers all. Until next time. Yeah, let's all get out of here. That was it. We'll do an NBC. I want to thank everybody for being here. These are the barrages. Sorry, I just went through kind of a weird day. But I'm glad we're here. I'm glad Larry was here. And do you wear a cape when you brew, Stephen Delgado? Nah, just wear a Speedo. That Party Time Brewing has lent me. All right, Just Brewing, let's get out of here. We're doing NBC, and that's it. Big shout out to you guys, man. Cheers to eating good. Cheers to drinking good. Where's the button? Right here.
I know what we have to do.
What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What?
Just say it!
M.
Say it.
B.
No. Say when.
C.
Yeah! That went all over my seat. Yeah! It's like Splash Mountain.